The Z to Z Podcast.
Good morning, good evening, or good day, and welcome to the Z to Z Podcast, the home for Xbox achievement hunters and gamerscore junkies. I'm your host, Brandon Freeman. Thank you so much for listening. At Z to Z, we love gaming, and in particular, grabbing achievements and gaining gamerscore. We do news, reviews, and interviews. If it's about achievements, we'll unlock it. The holidays are in full swing, and we are a festive bunch. Although we disagree about when that should begin. And that's not all we disagree about. I mean, Randy's on the show, so we're bound to have dissenting opinions. At least we can all agree horse armor is the best. I think that's what we decided on. I don't know. You tell me. If you can find show notes for this show, as well as previous shows, on our website, z2z.com, this is episode 51. You can also contact us with questions and comments at Twitter. That's at Z2Z, Z-E-D-T-O-Z-E-D. Over at our forums, forum.z2z.com, or, of course, you can email us directly, contact@z2z.com. Today's show is brought to you by the achievement Catastrophic Failure in the game Flight Control for the Windows Phone. This achievement was picked because my favorite college team suffered a horribly embarrassing loss in the Big Ten Championship after leading 28-7. This particular game is a pretty easy completion, but will take some time, specifically landing 10,000 planes. The particular achievement, Catastrophic Failure, requires you to have 3 separate collisions occur at the same time. So this requires 6 planes, of course, and can be a little tricky to get the timing correct. The Dapper Bandit has a pretty good suggestion in that you should set the first 2 sets of planes on a collision course, and just before they impact, pull one of them away and have them follow each other around the edge of the map. Once planes 5 and 6 show up, set them on track to collide. Once impact is imminent, set the other 2 pairs of planes that are tailing, flip them around, and have them collide at roughly the same time. It doesn't have to be exact, just close enough to get it to count. Special thanks to developer Firemint and publisher Namco Bandai. And if you, our fantastic listeners, have a suggestion for an achievement sponsor, let us know. You can contact us Twitter, of course, at Z2Z, Z-E-D-T-O-Z-E-D. You can chat with us over at Discord. That is discord.me/Z2Z. That's one word, Z-E-D-T-O-Z-E-D. Oh, like the Twitter account. Yeah, weird how we did that. Email, of course, contact@z2z.com. Or, you can even leave it in a podcast or iTunes review post. So there we have it. Let's get this show on the road. All right, everybody, we got the regular crew of hosts back this evening for the show, and I want to welcome all of our listeners, whether you be new from the X1 Bros or just new to the show in general. Thank you so much for tuning in. With me tonight, we have Prue. How are you doing tonight, Prue?
Doing Dantastic. How are you?
Dantastic. Hey, that's clever. That's your name.
Do you like
Sneaky. That? I do. And we've got Tarragon on the line. How are you doing, Tarragon?
Good. Yourself?
Fantastic. Well, I'll get to that. And Randy. Raincloud Randy, how are you doing? Rainy?
Yeah.
It's getting cold out.
The usual.
There it is. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, so as far as I'm doing, I'm actually dreadfully sick, turns out. It's like someone punched me in the stomach, and I have yet to heal from it. I can't eat any food, and it's disaster. I'm not going to lie to you. So, and I've mentioned on the show, if I take off in the middle of the show, that means someone in my house is throwing up, and I need to go take care of it. So if I just cut off abruptly, I'm sure Tarragon's not going to want to edit that out. So that's what ended up happening. I fully expect you guys to pick up the mantle, though. Prue, you're the guy.
Well, I am your host, Brandon Freeman, sometimes.
Oh,
that's right. You've already had the pleasure of being me.
Yeah,
how was that, by the way? It sounded exhausting for
you. It really was.
Yeah.
He was extra cloudy.
I think I did a couple takes to make sure I got a good one, but...
In fact, just judging by the last couple of shows, it took you a couple of shows to recover from
I know, it did.
That's why he wasn't on. Yeah, he just so wiped out from the positivity.
Way too much positivity.
I had to smile for like an hour and a half. I'm done for 2 weeks.
But it was
wasn't even that long.
Yeah, it was like a 7-minute intro, and it literally it sounded like it hurt your face to say, like, your cheeks don't bend that way.
No, they don't.
But for a brief instant, a pretty rainbow breached the dark, rainy clouds. So.
Don't be silly. That's not true.
Yeah, there was no breaching.
Yeah. I couldn't even pretend to be gloomy the next show. Like, it's just, I don't know how to do that. Like, yeah, like I said, I even feel rotten right now, and I just cannot muster up the type of doom and gloom that you bring to the table. I don't even know how you do it.
That I am all the time.
It's such a dark world.
Oozing with rain.
Well, that's brilliant. I want to just get some quick things off out of the gate here. It is the start of the month. It is December, so our contests all rolled over. And hopefully you don't have anything going on like major U.S. holidays, actually, I guess major religious holidays, and, you don't have to deal with your family at all. Now, that being said, I do know there's a lot of people who have time off toward the end of the month, so hopefully you can participate in these. We have our Gamertag Challenge, of course, 2 tags. We have Prue and Dead by Lead 2. We've got our Z to Z Monthly Challenge, unlocking achievements in the Gears of War series. Any of them, any game, any achievements unlocked in the month of December will get you entry into the prize pool, and completing games. And for those of you who aren't hardcore achievement hunters and maybe new to the show, a completion is earning all the achievements in the game. I'm sorry, that was condescending. I don't mean that. So there's that as well. And, of course, the random to-do list. We all got our new lists this month. If you haven't got your list, you're free to sign up at any time, literally, like right when you hear this show. You can go onto our forums, forum.z2z.com, and say, hey, Tarragon, hook me up with a list. And Tarragon is so quick to turn that around and say, oh, there you go, have fun. Because you get 25 achievements, and you can just get them at your leisure. You can get all of them, you can get none of them. It doesn't really matter. We just want you to have fun. Touch back into some games maybe you hadn't played in a while. Dig back into that backlog. It is awesome. So, with that being said, gentlemen, how are your lists this month? Prue, you're actually pretty active. How are you feeling about yours?
Yeah, I was just talking about this. I think maybe 15 to 20 this month. I mean, I have a lot of games that I would have to rebuy, and I'm planning on getting 1 or 2 of them. It depends. There's a few that I'm definitely not going for. I would have to replay through Dragon Age Origins, which would be fun, but that's a lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
I would have to play through Dead Rising for the first time at least, which I'm not going to do. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do it for this one achievement, so sorry. But other than that, and then there's I had 2 Def Jam Rap Star songs, which is random. Yeah.
that game, yeah.
Yes.
That is random.
So I already have one of them. Me and my roommate played last night. We got it. But the other one is to unlock literally everything in the game. That's not going to happen. So that one's put aside. It's actually a relatively okay list. What's interesting to me, there's 2 things of note. I just started the Microsoft Solitaire collection the other day, and I already have an achievement in there.
That's nice.
Fortunately, it's easy, so I'll be able to get it, no problem. And so my True Achievements game collection is not up to date by any means. I don't curate it or anything. It's just if it's been on my card, I'll go replay it. That's fine. Yeah. I have no problems with that. But just recently there was a sale on one of the Destroy All Human games, and I picked it up, and I randomly, just to play around with that feature, I added that game to my collection. And now I have 2 achievements on that as soon as I put it on there. So I now have to play through that game. But
Destiny.
No, that's not fantastic.
No, fortunately, it's not Destiny. I would not want to play Destiny. Please don't give me Destiny on my random to-do list.
What about you, Tarragon? How's your list look?
I haven't even really actually looked at my list all that much, to be honest. I've been too busy just curating lists for everyone else, but, and being at work. But yeah. Just having a look through, I think the thing I'm most not looking forward to is I've got a Games for Windows Live game has appeared on my list, and or a couple of them actually, and I really should take those out of my collection for these kind of contests because they're just not fun to try and wrangle. I got one in Tetris: The Grandmaster Ace. It's a pretty obscure Japanese-only title from 2005, believe it or not. It's actually a console release game. They only got released.
I want to take that one on. It looks tough, but I really like Tetris.
Yeah, it's apparently a really tough game. But I've got some random achievement out of that that's in Japanese, and I don't know what it means, so that'll be fun to work out. Yeah, and the rest, as you'd expect with my kind of collection, they're just all over the place. Although I've got to go and I've got one in Fighters Uncaged, which is a game I haven't actually started. It's Gambler's Nightmare. Win 20 fights against Gambler in the Open League, which has got a 9.31 ratio. I'm not sure I'll be getting that one. Actually, mostly because it requires activity.
That game has this just super high ratio overall and actually isn't that bad of a completion. It's just one of those games that a whole bunch of people started and nobody really went anywhere with it.
Yeah, I suspect it's got connect ratio. What's the word? Yeah. It's pretty much every Connect game's ended up with high ratios for whatever reason. But
that one's just particularly inflated for some reason.
I think it was one of the very, very early releases on the One, wasn't it? From what I recall.
Oh, never mind. That's a totally different game.
This is actually Xbox 360. There we go.
Okay, now then that is the one I'm thinking of. What's the one on the One? The one on the One has like 99 achievements, and then this one does not. Yeah. To me, that was one of the Kinect games that looked kind of interesting, and I suspect that kind of was the draw to it. It's like, oh, it's a fighting game with Kinect. That's kind of cool. And then people realized it sucked. And
it's a fighting game with Kinect.
Yeah, exactly.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So,
Randy, I'm looking at your list here, and this thing looks dreadful. You have...
I'm actually looking forward to my list. Yeah.
You have 7 plastic instrument games on here, don't you?
Yeah, I love plastic instrument games.
Counting that right? 3 of which are... I guess technically Rocksmith is not
I have
plastic instrument.
3 Rocksmith achievements, so I don't know. Are you counting that 3 times? But
I am counting that 3 times. There's 3 achievements.
Okay. So, yeah, Rocksmith is one of those games, like we were just saying, the ratio is very, very high, but in reality, only a few of the achievements really take a lot of skill or a lot of time. So I suspect I'll be able to grab all of those Rocksmith achievements. I've got a lot of pretty easy ones. I was really happy with it because I don't have a ton of story-related stuff, and that's what usually puts me off these challenges, is if I'm going to take a story on, I'm going to play the whole thing. I don't just play halfway and stop. If I'm going to commit to a story, it's the whole thing or not.
So is that BioShock 2 Japanese version appealing to you, since that's end of story?
It is, and that will actually give me the motivation to go and finish the Japanese version because I've already started the international version, I finished boosting the Japanese version. So, yeah, I'm looking at that one. Professional Farmer, if it gets here on time, I have that coming in the mail. If that's here by the end of the month, that's a 5-minute achievement, maybe.
Yeah, right.
I think... Just on that whole completing games thing, I think that was probably my main complaint with the UHH, was having to find a game that had an achievement that was a fair way through it, that I'd only started the game, and having to absolutely power my way through the story of that game in order to get to that achievement. And it kind of means you're not really appreciating the story, which is what I would want to do. So,
especially in 1 week.
Yeah, exactly.
In a month, you at least have the opportunity to kind of digest it and enjoy it. And
but then you've got the other 24 achievements to worry about. So,
well, there's that. But I mean, again, the pressure's pretty low on this. There's not really a giant prize pool at the end, and it's not. Yeah. And
you're not going to get knocked out at the end of the month or anything like that. So,
Right. I'm not going to win a prize for this?
You are not. No. Well, you might. You might get some bragging rights, to be honest. But
all right. I'll take that.
We'll see. I'm eyeballing, so there's 6 that I'm eyeballing to at least cover for my gamertag challenge, right? So I got 6 letters that cross over. My list isn't terrible. I'd love to play all these games, but again, I have a lot of those, get deep into a game type things. But really, there's some easy pickings here now that I have kind of resigned myself to the fact that I will not successfully complete my own completion challenge. So if you haven't seen this on the forums, this was something I threw up on the Achievement Hounds back at the beginning of the year. So, this year, and I was like, look, I want to complete 37 games this year. That brings me to 120 games overall. And so of the 37, and I just came up with some random titles, like complete a game that's a stack, complete a game that's games with gold, complete a game that has zombies, complete a game that has robots, complete a game that is a sequel. You get the idea. Just some random topics and stuff. And if you guys want to look at your list of what you've completed this whole year and see if you fulfill any of them, awesome. Go for it. Go nuts. I made it to 22, and I'm looking at my list, and the one that's hanging me up, like, because I can, like Prue just said, and we'll hear about in your recap, you probably, you just burn through 10 games over a weekend. Like, I can do that as well. But the one that's hanging me up is a Lego game, and I will not get a Lego game completed in December. I can't focus. I just get so sidetracked. I don't want to focus on it. Because they're so monotonous that I need small doses of Lego games.
Lego Rock Band.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed I put that on my list. Anyway.
Lego Rock Band is on my random to-do list challenge, though.
So I've kind of resigned myself to, like, okay, look, I can't do the completion, so that should at least open me up to play some of these other games. And so maybe, just maybe we'll get around. Now, those of you interested in completion challenge for 2016, I will be doing a completion challenge for 2017. I think I'm going to offer some prizes to this one. I think I mentioned I'd do some prizes for the other one, if one person happened to do it, which I think NBA Kirkland's pretty close. Anyway, I have a list of 30. I made this list up in March, and it's only 30 games. And I made this list up in March of this last year. And so I will post that in the forums in January at the start of the year. So you have a collection of games. Again, we can all work on it together as a community. And it's just one more year-long contest that you can kind of chip at and, take little tiny baby steps toward. So keep your eyes out for that as well. The one thing I was disappointed in is as I saw I had a Gears of War 2 achievement on my random to-do list. I'm like, yes! Crossover, random to-do list, and the monthly game community challenge. Yeah, it's the Party Like It's 1999 achievement, where you have to play like 2,000 multiplayer games. That's not happening. I will absolutely not be doing that, because I have, to date, in Gears of War 2, I have played 7 multiplayer games. So I will not be grinding that out. Sorry.
So just 1992 more to go. Come on, you can do it.
That sounds...
You can actually idle that achievement.
Awful. What do you mean I can idle it?
It's not online multiplayer. You can set up a game of... what is it? What did I do it in? I don't know. You can do it without doing anything. You just leave your box on.
Really? Like not even a turbo controller or anything?
No. I don't think so. What did I do? I was getting like 40 matches an hour or something.
Wow.
So
maybe I have to look into that.
Yeah, you can just leave your 360 on because you're not using it anyway. So
I'm not using it anyway.
I don't remember if I needed a whole bunch of profiles. I don't think I did. I think you can just let it go.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Hey, Big L, did you catch that? Fascinating? That's one of my new words. You'll see it picks up often. That's one of my new crutch words.
It's new? Didn't realize that was new. Okay.
Well, what did I used to say? That it wasn't fascinating. Awesome? Fantastic. That was the one. Yeah. I've switched fantastic to fascinating. So
I'm just looking at your completion challenge now because I hadn't looked at it in a bit. I think I might have almost all of those, so I'm going to have to go through and check.
Check it off. Yeah, you got 1 month to finish it up. 37 completions, though. That's a decent number. So good luck on that. Anyone else out there, take a look at the forums. I also, what other comment? I have, and it's going to be too late unless you are one of our astute listeners who listens the morning this comes out, which we love you guys. Thank you so much for getting this in your ear immediately. If you're not one of those people, then listen to an upcoming show because I will be hosting my second game show contest. And if you haven't heard the first one, listen back to episode 38. Episode 38 has my first game show, and that was brutally difficult. I opened the entire gaming library, so any sort of game was open, and I picked 5 achievements, and I would list the achievements out, and I would tell you the genre and how much gamer score and stuff. And they had to, the contestants, Prue, you're a contributor on that. And
didn't do great, I gotta say. Didn't do great.
That's all right.
I want to get in on this one.
Well, sign up in the forums. So if you hear this in time before either Friday, December 9th or Saturday, December 10th, then, sign up and you can be a part of it. If not, you guys are welcome to sign up for the third running of it, whenever that happens. I don't have that date in place, but this is something we're going to kind of do more often because it's fun. And I'm going to curate this list a little bit better. I haven't decided if I'm going to do at least 5,000 gamers or 10,000. I've got some metrics on that. And actually, Tarragon, I need another list from you. But there's like 1,100 games that have at least 10,000 players and another 500 that, from 5,000 to 10,000. So that's like 1,500 games to play with. And that was a list you gave me back in, when did we run that? In like August, September?
Yeah, something like that. So
something like that.
We've had at least, 5,000 games added since then.
Oh, I feel like that's the case. Speaking of games,
4,900 of those are indies, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, massive gamer pools. Randy, you made a comment in the forums or Discord and if you're guys are listening or chatting with us in Discord, please, you should go over there. It's fantastic. But Randy, you regaled us.
I'm there all the time because I'm unemployed. And
with a story of some kid, some Call of Duty kid. What is this Call of Duty story that you shared?
This is my friend, my good friend, and this is back. My friends all used to have Xbox 360s. Then most of them broke and they switched to PlayStation. So this is back when we all had 360s. We'd all get together like almost every weekend and we play together. And this actually was during the week, I think, because I wasn't present. I was playing with him online. We were playing together in a party. And so he would get really mad at the game when you die or what, as people do. And he would yell a lot and swear loudly.
I'm having deja vu.
So his mom was, yelling at him or something like, stop swearing, be quiet. So instead of swearing, what he started doing was like clenching his head, like if that makes sense. So you kind of,
like tense up
and, you put pressure on your head. And he did that so hard that he passed out. So he was playing, he got so mad, and then he did that, and then he just went quiet for a minute. And he comes back, and he had just woken up. Like he had like a futon that was like folded into a couch, not like bed style. But he'd woken up laying on the futon, and he's like, I just passed out.
As you do.
Yeah. Well, boys will be boys.
Yeah, okay.
I had to do that. I had to do that. That's hilarious.
That's one of my good Call of Duty stories from back in the day when I played Call of Duty.
Do you have any other stories of maybe some games that you played this week?
I have a lot. Well, we'll go back a little bit.
Of the few weeks.
So an update.
There's not going to be a complete gaming recap for a month, right? I don't want to hear about November per se.
A brief couple of weeks, and then we'll talk about this week.
Start the timer.
So my 10 completion.
Big L's got a stopwatch out, just so you know.
10 seconds.
Then it'll keep rolling. So whatever. So my 10 games complete in what was it? What did I say? In the month?
Well, you finished 10 games last month?
Oh, I finished way more than 10 games. So I started with 10 games, and then I said, okay, let me check my recap to get the actual number. But yeah, so I set a goal for myself to say I want to complete 10 games that are on my tag this month. And, I want to get those 10 done. I think I counted Monochroma. So 9 games that were on my tag done. So I could get below 100 started games on my tag. So I set that goal for myself, and I completely destroyed it. I finished November with 14 completed games. Started 10 games, completed 14 games. And
not
one of those games was Rare Replay.
Nice. Attaboy.
Prue alluded to that last episode.
Yeah, so I was disappointed that I didn't get to talk about that right when it happened. But finally, Rare Replay, it was sitting over a year with 1 achievement left. And I can't believe I let it sit for that long. I was 5 gamer score and Perfect Dark Zero away from completing it for over a year, which is lame. I wish I would have gone and done that sooner, but that was done. I completed Dead Rising 3 also that week. Very happy about that. It was fun. Overall fun. I completed 3 Rock Band track packs. Finally finished Another World. So
we were just talking about that last week.
I heard that when I was listening yesterday. And I was thinking,
whoa, hang on.
I listen to podcasts I'm not on.
He wasn't on it, so it's totally allowed to listen to
the podcast that I'm on because I record it. I'm here. I know what's going on. I listen to the outtakes sometimes just to see what gets stuck in there. So I discovered, like, I don't know, when I was maybe halfway through the game, that the same guy that worked on this worked on one of my favorite PS1 games, Heart of Darkness, which I really, really enjoyed. And it made me think of it when I noticed kind of the movement mechanics and the way it was animated and kind of the way the game looked.
Is that based on the book? Like
I don't
Heart
think
of Darkness,
so.
the book? Oh, okay.
I think Heart of Darkness is a standalone
Apocalypse
thing.
Now type thing?
No, this is like Dream World.
Oh,
thing,
okay.
Kind of. Yeah, it's really interesting game. It was kind of, I don't know. It was cool. I mean, it's clunky. The controls are clunky like this, but that was kind of, it almost added a horror mechanic to Heart of Darkness, where Another World, it was just clunky. So I think it took me 4.5 hours to finish Another World, which seems really long when it's, you know, most people are saying it's like 1 to 2 hours or
so
less
it's
than
probably
1 hour.
if you've never played it before, as in you've never had any experience with it before, then yeah, I could see 4 hours if you're not used to the mechanics of it. I think I got the completion down to about 45 minutes during the world record attempt. So
I could see if I went through it again, it would probably take me a lot less time.
Yeah, definitely.
But my biggest problem was I didn't know where to go most of the time. Even using a guide, I had a really hard time figuring out which way was the right way because, you know, often you go the wrong way, you have the guys that all, you know, come out and impossibly just murder you.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you can fight them. It's actually impossible. But there were a lot of sequences in the game that were supposed to be there that almost felt that hard. So I didn't know, you know, am I going the wrong way? Is it just this hard? What's going on? So, and then I skipped a checkpoint. So I skipped a part of the game and then it wasn't giving me checkpoints. So I was running I 7 or 8 checkpoints at a time thinking like, why am I not getting a checkpoint? I should have one by now. So I spent like an hour on that.
Yep. I think I did the same thing actually. And I just didn't realize that, I've missed that bit where you've got to swim down the bottom and do this thing and shoot this thing. And then it gives you
that was in the same area.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was annoying. But I was glad to finally get it done. I finished Dead Rising 2 off the record. I finished Overcooked, and I did Overcooked all solo.
Wow.
So it's very doable. And I think it took me 7 hours.
I started Overcooked. I just dived it, but I loved that first stage.
Super
that was
fun.
Super clever.
The whole game was super fun.
Man, I can only imagine how challenging that gets. If you have multiple people, does it get easier if you have a competent other person?
No, I don't know, because I didn't have anyone to play it with, but my guess is 2 people can be easier on some stages. Some stages I suspect are still easier solo. 2 people, yes. 4 people, definitely not. There's no way you can coordinate 4 people. Yeah, it just would not happen. But 2 people, if you have a good, solid second, I think there are definitely a few stages that it would make substantially easier. But just to kind of put it out there, because there's not a lot of information on doing it solo, that it is very doable. I think there was only one stage that really gave me a lot of difficulty. I found a video online because it turns out I was just going about it wrong, and then once I knew the strategy, it was easy. But other than that, it was all totally doable. I finished boosting BioShock 2 Japan, which is nice. Now I just have one more grind left on BioShock 2.
I just ask, were you doing that with Jack from TA?
Yes,
I think he mentioned on their podcast that he completed that and gotten the
we finished. Yeah, we finished that up, and then we started the international version.
Yep,
on the 360, which I was intentionally leaving for last because I thought it'd be funny. I finished Guitar Hero Aerosmith finally. I don't know why I didn't. I was like 3 hours away from finishing that for like 4 years. I don't know why.
I think I've got an answer for that. It's called Graw.
Yeah.
I was going to say because Aerosmith is terrible.
I was going to say I really didn't like Guitar Hero Aerosmith. It was a horrible, like one of the worst in my opinion. I don't dislike Aerosmith. I just don't think they're a good band to put on Guitar Hero.
I dislike Aerosmith.
Yeah. And not to mention that there was a bunch of game mechanic issues that that were in it too, but we'll leave that. Finished the multiplayer Batman Arkham Origins. I've been picking away at Jetpack Refueled, which is tedious. Finished Rock Band 4 finally. I had to leave our crew,
which we were all very sad about, by the way.
Yeah, I guess I'll rejoin.
We won't twist your arm, okay?
Except that you have no reason to play anymore. So all you'll be doing is bringing the crew down. You know?
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I like playing Rock Band. I almost said I like Rock Band 4. No, I like Rock Band. Yeah. So I got that stupid buggy achievement. Still hate harmonics. Glad that's done. Finished Wordament Snap Attack Windows Phone, the Harvest Windows Phone. I was traveling, so Windows Phone time, and I started and finished Assassin's Creed Altair's Chronicles, which has a really bad reputation for being like the worst game on the planet. And I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't good.
What is that on? What's that from?
That's a Windows Phone, isn't
Windows
it?
Phone.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's the Windows Phone Assassin's Creed from Windows Phone 7.
Is that delisted now, or is it?
It's been delisted for years.
Thought.
It was a Nintendo DS port to Windows Phone. Yeah.
Wow. How's that?
Yeah, not a good. Yeah, it worked fine actually. I didn't, because the thing that got me looking into it is it seemed really long. I'm like, yeah, nobody would make a mobile game this long. There must be something up with it. And I looked it up. Yeah, sure enough, the first thing that comes up when you Google it is the DS game that was then ported to Windows Phone. Yeah. There was hardly any touchscreen use, and I think that's why it kind of works.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. People talk about it being like, oh, this is the worst completion. This is so hard. Everything. It's like, it was mostly enjoyable. I mean, it got tedious about halfway through, but all you have to do is play through the game, more or less. There's you have to do a couple other things to mop it up, and pretty easy completion. I think it took me about 8 hours. But yeah, not a terrible game. Made it through some more Guitar Hero Live. Thought about doing a stream. Randy plays Fall Out Boy like 80 times to get an achievement. I got the 5th highest score on the song, though, on the leaderboards, which is actually tied for 3rd, but I was just the 3rd person to do it, so I got 5th.
Somebody's got that extra squeeze out, I guess.
Yeah, I've been trying to squeeze it in, but it's tough. So
yeah,
I've got another 15 plays.
We should probably explain the terminology there, because squeeze actually has a particular terminology in Guitar Hero. It's one of those. So you basically get a note to count twice, sort of, or you use.
Well, you hit something early or late on a star power phrase to either squeeze it in at the end or at the beginning. So if you hit late. So at the beginning, you're abusing and then immediately activate.
Yeah, you're
immediately hit the note.
Abusing the timing window and the timing leeway they give you to hit the notes. You abuse that in order to slightly extend just that little bit more out of the star power phrases. So yeah,
and it's much harder to squeeze in Guitar Hero Live because star power works a lot differently. So you can only squeeze on the hit late end. Right. So at most you can squeeze one note in per phrase. So yeah, that's bad game as always. I've started working on matches played in Quake 4. I've been doing that since there's so little effort involved. I've just been doing that while I look for jobs, which is a lot of hours a day. So I think I've done, 150, 200 matches this week. Just leave it on while I work, or work, kind of,
quote unquote work
on jobs. working on Banjo-Tooie, which turned out to be a lot longer than I thought it was. Super fun. It's amazing how well that game is aged. Such a great game. I love Banjo-Tooie.
So good. So good.
Yeah. And then I got access to some delisted games this week. Well, I've had access for a while. I just got to playing them this week. So I went on a completion binge and got 4 completions yesterday. Or 2 days ago. I don't know. Yesterday, I think. So I completed Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, 3-on-3 NHL Arcade, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Special Editions, and Fighting Vipers. And 3-on-3 NHL Arcade has got to be one of the weirdest games I've ever played.
How so?
It's so, like, the people, they're like bobbleheads, but like with people's faces, like, cut and paste onto them. It's so weird. That
sounds like the arcade version of that that sort of game. Though it's the big head mode kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not just big head mode. Like it's big head mode and then like something that's weird. Weird game. Easy completion though. If you get access to it, it's like less than an hour. No, it probably took me an hour. It's quick, really quick. And then the big announcement this week is Prue and I completed Dark Agent on Perfect Dark Zero.
Hey.
It was fantastic.
Finally.
Absolutely amazing. I started working on solo Perfect Agent or Dark Agent. I don't know what I said. Dark Agent, whatever. The super hard one that's
Super
stupidly
duper
hard.
Yeah.
And it seems doable. I think I'll go for that completion probably this month.
Okay.
I
got very frustrated in the first level of that.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, that's how we started. But then once you kind of really, I don't know, we got to this point where like we got so good at the game that now we just kind of play through sloppily and succeed, which is crazy. Like just thinking like that game demands absolute perfection and we're kind of like sloppily, whatever, way through half the levels. So yeah,
on your third or fourth playthrough, you just don't care anymore, and you're just like, all right, let's just go for it, and then
sometimes it works.
Yeah, sometimes.
So yeah, we were having fun with that, which is surprising because I thought it was not going to be fun, but it's turned out to be pretty fun. Especially
gaming with friends. Who knew?
Yeah, well, right?
Gaming with friends and the game itself, because it's so satisfying when you get one of those missions because they're so hard. Now, the game is still frustrating. Don't get me wrong. The game is very frustrating, and will crushing.
Yes,
absolutely will crushing. But it's almost become fun. Even solo, I'm enjoying. So
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes at the end. And now with that, I'm going to set a new completion challenge for myself. I'm not sure the number yet, but I want to go on a crazy completion binge this month. I'm thinking 20 or 30 or 31. I could do one completion a day because as of today, I've got 4. So I'm like double up on my days already. So I got 4 completions yesterday and none today. But
the real challenge would be to do that for a year.
No.
Oh, absolutely not.
See, for a month. There was somebody back on the Achievement Hounds forum who actually was trying to do that. He started up a brand new gamer tag and he'd set himself a goal to get 365 completions, or 365,000 gamer score, which was basically, 365 completions. And he did that for like 3 or 4 months and then vanished. So I don't know if he just died or something.
No, I could see that. If you started a fresh gamer tag, there's enough like 1 to 2 hour completions between Windows Phone, XBLA, easy disc games. Yeah. If you had access to everything, that I could see that as being totally doable. But I mean, I've burned through a lot of stuff, but I also have a huge backlog of easy games that I would kind of just like.
Don't talk to me about backlog.
Well, yeah, but I have a huge backlog because I tend to pick up easy games. I see them, $5, $10, whatever. Grab it. This is a 3-hour completion, but I never play it because I'm less interested in that. But I like to
protect the ratio, man. Got to protect the ratio.
I mean, I like to keep my ratio above 2, but it's like 2.12 now. It's huge. I've got lots of buffer room, and I kind of like to just get through those games, put them on my tag, and just not have to worry about them. So today I was playing Connect to kind of get a feel for some of the Fun Labs games, because I haven't played those. That's 6 or 8 completions there probably. So I'm thinking,
assuming the Facebook integration works and all that other crap.
Yeah, it does. That's what I was actually testing today. Well, it's not Facebook.
That's the Connect. So they've got their own service.
Connect, Fun, Share, or whatever. That's mostly dead, but still works. Like, you can't view the stuff anywhere.
Yeah, but
it still lets you upload it.
Which is super weird.
So it just uploads to the abyss. I
should probably knock out the last few of those I've got to get done.
Yeah. So they still work. It's for anyone that is interested in them, but I never started them, so I figured I should rip through those. And now that I have Connect Space, it's a lot easier to just kind of pull it out for a couple hours. And I hurt myself playing Connect today, which was super fun.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I did
stretch beforehand.
Nah, I don't know. It's probably like the not leaving my house for 4 months. I'll probably do it. And then trying to exercise. Doesn't work too well.
Exercise. That'll kill you every time.
I know. Every single time.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
what
so
about...
that's my last 3 weeks of gaming.
That is sizable. Prue, can you match?
So I'm gonna set it, the stretch goal, 31 completions this month. I don't think it's going to happen. I'll settle for 20. I think I can do 20, but we'll stretch goal 31 and see how it goes.
All right.
Well, speaking of goals, Prue, let's hear about your goal for the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah, I actually haven't officially tallied it up yet, but I'm fairly certain I didn't hit my 10K trot.
Oh.
A 10K turkey trot. It's okay, because I hit like a 9.56 or something. It's all right.
Still a nice number.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. It's I played 3 more games than what I talked about.
It's more than most people do in a month, so it's or even 2 months for that matter.
Yep. So I played through Coffin Dodgers, which was a
kart racer.
I've played that game briefly.
Yes.
It's quite silly.
It is very silly and not great, but very easy. So I played through that. I also picked up Whispering Willows, which was a kind of I don't even know how to describe that game. It was a 2-dimensional kind of haunted house kind of a game, I guess. Point and click.
Sort of point and click. It's nice. It's you don't point and click to move around, but it's certainly you interact with things, and it's an adventure game in that sort of sense. So
yep. Again, not fantastic, but something easy to pick up. And then I picked up the Gianna Sisters Dream Runners, which is a multiplayer based race battle kind of game, which was interesting. I've never played a game like that, and I played it entirely solo, of course, because it was an easy completion. I could see how that might be fun if you had friends, but I didn't, so I just played it on my own.
Oh, no friends.
Who has friends? What are those?
So that was actually those 3 games that I just listed and the 6 games that I talked about last week. That was a full 9K. And
did you end up getting back to Nero?
I didn't. I haven't got back to Nero. Oh, that's right. So that was like a full 8.8K. And then everything else I played that week kind of equaled, I think, 940, 950 or something like that. So it was fine. I wasn't going to stress about it. You know what? It's supposed to be a relaxing holiday weekend, and whatever. I was fine. Okay, guys, get off my back about it. I'm not upset. Anyways, besides that,
your crewmate gave you a hard time, didn't he?
No, he gave me a hard time for calling it a 10K turkey trot. He said that was ridiculous because I'm not actually moving. Whatever.
What a jerk.
What does he know?
He doesn't know.
Hey, your gamer score is moving, okay? That's what matters.
Exactly.
10K turkey trotting your gamer score.
That's what the point was, yeah. So other than that, just been playing the stuff that we've already talked about, the things I've talked about a lot. I've talked about Skyrim, playing through that. Obviously, Randy mentioned we finished Perfect Dark Zero, the co-op stuff, which was such a relief. Oh man, that was a very satisfying 50 gamer score achievement to get. We
were very excited that night.
Yeah, it was
the rain stopped for a minute.
It may have
just very briefly.
So he says the single player super hard mode isn't that bad, so I may try to keep pace with him and beat it eventually, but I'm not sure. I may have had my fill. We'll see what happens. And then working my way through Halo and Gears 4 like normal. Other than that, I already started my random to-do list. Like I mentioned earlier, I played a little bit of Def Jam just to get the first quick achievement that was easy. I also played some Halo Spartan Assault and got that achievement as well. And then other than that, I've been playing some mobile stuff. So Microsoft Solitaire Collection, which is now on Android, which is fantastic. So I can play that. I wouldn't say when I'm at work per se. Maybe when I'm on break at work. That kind of a thing.
Yeah, take lots of breaks, though, right?
Well,
you've become a huge smoker, is what I'm hearing.
Yes. I think
or you need to go to the toilet a lot more lately.
Yes. I think how it works is that the experts recommend that you at least get up off your chair, once every 5 minutes? So that's probably what I'm...
At least.
Yeah.
Every two, preferably.
Unlock your phone screen every 5 minutes.
Just to check, just to make sure.
Just okay. Keep it running smoothly,
So I started that. Played through Jetpack Joyride on Windows 8 as well as Cut the Rope. Both super easy, fun games. Played through Sudoku on the Windows Phone. And then something that Randy didn't mention, but just this evening we were playing through, doing some doing some boosting on...
it's both.
Yeah, it is. On Gears of War, the original, he's trying to work towards his oh my god, what is it called?
Seriously?
Thank you. Seriously.
Gears of War, I totally forgot to mention this.
Seriously,
the Gears of War month has motivated me to finish off Gears of War 1 as one of my completions this month. So I'm thinking seriously we'll be done by the end of this weekend. I'm hoping. I was about halfway today.
You're certainly not setting the bar low.
And I also have an extra Xbox here. I'm borrowing one of Warren's Xboxes. So that means I have 8 Xboxes. And that means I can lock down a lobby all by myself.
Who are you, son of? Jesus.
So, when Warren's Xbox is here, I guess. It's a disaster of a setup, and it's crazy, and there's controllers everywhere. But it's really fast kills.
Yeah, so I jumped in there, and I don't have a lot, or pretty much hardly any of the original Gears multiplayer achievements. So I've already gotten I probably got 10, I would say, tonight.
Something like that. I mean, you were getting almost 2 a round.
Yeah, 2 a round.
Probably played, I don't know, 6, 8 rounds,
7, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's and then that was obviously just right before we started recording. So that was everything I've been playing.
Brilliant. What about you, Tarragon?
I've had a relatively quiet week, actually.
Comparatively,
yeah. I mean, the games I've sunk the most time into this week have been Assassin's Creed Unity and Elite Dangerous, which I have been for a while now. Assassin's Creed Unity, I've got to the point where I've done pretty much all the single-player stuff. I just need to go and mop up a lot of the other collection junk and, unlock all the 100% sync rate things and all the stories and whatnot.
The cleanup,
and it's getting quite tedious now. Elite Dangerous. The only thing to note there is I'm basically just flying through a lot of space towards the middle of the galaxy, so there's not much to write about there. Taking some nice pictures, which I'll update to the forum at some point. So I guess the only sort of interesting things, I've had a bit of a hack away at the iOS version of Solitaire, which seems to be the thing at the moment. Everybody's got Solitaire now, so I'm trying to do my dailies every day just to get that 30 or that month of dailies done. So hopefully that'll be done in December. And I briefly jumped into The Witness, which just went on sale. It's that Jonathan Blow.
That's right.
I didn't get an achievement in that, and I think that one's kind of a bit slow to get achievements out of. But it's interesting. I'm really not quite sure what to make of it yet. But you're basically wandering around in complete silence with nobody else around you solving these weird puzzles. But so it's interesting.
Puzzles tough, because they're supposed to be just ridiculous at times.
Yeah,
I walk you into it pretty decently.
No, not really. They kind of just throw you in, and you kind of got to figure it out. I I guess I'm avoiding looking at any solutions or anything like that because I just want to approach it in my own terms. But I've kind of hit one where I can't work out what to do with it quite yet. But I guess that's the point. So, but apparently, some of them later are absolutely diabolical. So, yeah, I'll probably be looking for help when that comes around. But we'll see. It's the kind of game that I want to really approach with my own and have a good go at it by myself and see how far I get. I guess the other game that I haven't really mentioned at all on the show, but I've been playing through is it's a game on 3DS called Zero Time Dilemma, which is part of the Zero Escape series. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that particular series, but I finished that off this week as well, which was nice to get done.
Is that a visual novel? What is that?
It's part visual novel, part puzzle room kind of thing. But it's also broken up into multiple sort of timelines. So you go through and you get one particular ending, but then you can essentially go back and you pick up the story again at that point, pick the other ending to continue the story. And sometimes they have kind of crossover where there's a bit of sort of what's the word? It's almost like telepathy, but it's telepathy across timelines. So if you do certain things in one timeline, then your character in another timeline, like yourself in another timeline, learns this fact that they've learnt from this alternate timeline, and they have to apply that. And so there's a lot of that kind of weird sci-fi kind of stuff going on there. So it's actually, I really like the series. I think the first one was that was called like 999. And that was on various platforms. But yeah, this is the final of that particular series. So clock that one out. I had a bit of.
How do you know when the game ends?
Well,
there's no achievements to tell you.
That's true. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure, but I think when I got to the final end screen and the credits, I think that was it. Yeah, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. Yeah, you might have to get like 300,000 kills or something.
Yeah, I'll have to check. I got to November 30th, and realised that I hadn't actually gotten I sort of as I usually do. I wait until the last few days of the month before I go and look at the gamertag challenge and work out what I need. Turned out I needed about 6 letters, and 4 of those were like O's and other difficult ones. So I had to kind of do a pretty quick, and this was like November 30th at 10 p.m. at night. I had like 2 hours to knock out a whole bunch of achievements pretty quickly. So I had a bit of almost a little mini bean dive just to get the gamertag thing going. But I discovered probably an achievement that's probably up there for the most pointless achievement award for this year, which is it's an achievement called Beauty School Dropout from Hack, Slash and Backstab. And the achievement is literally get to the start screen, don't press start, quit the game. Achievement unlocked. And it's worth 199 points too. It's like literally the most pointless achievement. So yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. And that's pretty much been my week. What about you, Free?
Well, like I mentioned, I got sick, right? And so that happened on the 30th. And so guess what? You're at home. I decided to do the gamertag challenge. And so, I punched out a bunch of just real quick Adventures of Pip, Oceanhorn, Overcooked, Limbo, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, and Eventide, Slavic Fable. That was just real quick. Yeah, I want the full name, right? Artifacts Movie deserves that.
You hear that, Prue?
Didn't play a ton of those games. Actually, I played through one of the dungeons in Oceanhorn, and my kids came home from school at that point, and so like they sat and watched me, and they were just in awe of it. And I'm like, guys, this is like exactly what Zelda was like when I was a little kid. Like, you guys don't realize how awesome this is. But then I just started doing the fishing in that. That sucks. The fishing is terrible. So I got my one achievement, and I was like, I'll put this off until Prue this month happens to have an O in it. But the important things I did, okay, I got 4. I've been keeping up with my Rayman dailies. Thankfully, now that it's backwards compatible, I can do this on my 1. Well, guess what? I earned 1 million looms through collecting trophies. I should probably go through and actually complete the game, because at some point, you need to complete the game to get your 10th level of awesomeness, and then the 11th level comes with all this stuff. And
you don't have to.
Technically, I could get the 11 through all my trophies, but I need to get the other achievements. And so I don't want to do any more work than I have to. And I think I'm not going to say dangerously close, because I think I had to go to like 1.8 million to get enough trophies to count for the 11th level of awesomeness. But I really got to finish Rayman. I think I have like 490 teensies out of 700. So it's not, I'm not that terribly far away.
And it's the second go. It's going to be quicker.
Right. Absolutely. I did spend a significant amount of time in Microsoft Solitaire. And so, like I mentioned on last show, they're doing all the bonuses and stuff. And I was like, with all this money I'm getting the diamond was really easy. And you only need 1 diamond for the achievement. And so I, ended up with like 40 of the challenges to get 40 of the 150 challenges to get the diamond. And I think I got that on like Black Friday. And it was like, oh, well, I don't think there's any other month I need to go for diamond. I might as well get perfectionist or strive for perfection this month too, which means unlock all 150 challenges in the month of November, which I started on November 23rd, meaning in those 7 days, I played 150 challenges. That was a terrible idea. I do not recommend that one bit.
I did that too.
It was it's just dumb.
I would do like 3 months at a time when I was working on Solitaire. I would turn my clock back. So, usually it would, I don't know if this happens on the phone as well, but I did it all on the Windows 8 version, then ported it to the UWP version. But it would usually cache like 2 or 3 months prior to the current month. So I would just kind of, wait, 1, 2, 3 months, and then just go back and do it all in one go, and it was horrible. Just getting gold medal, like 3 gold medals back to back was just horrible.
Now, what made life easy was that, was it Vorak? I think that's his name.
Yes.
Man, his daily guides for those challenges, fantastic. Kudos to that gentleman.
There's also another guy that does it.
Is there?
Yeah. So sometimes if you use both of their channels, I think his name is like Zemming Jin or something. He's a related channel on Vorank. So if you go to Vorank, you'll see Zemming Jin.
How do you spell that? Vorank.
Which one? VORANC, I think.
I think so. It's in the TA solution for Perfectionist. There's a link in the TA solution for it it's absolutely brilliant. And so if you stay on top of it, like as it goes, right? So today's December 2nd as of recording. If you just kind of do them each day, and like I can do easies are no problem. I can do about half of the mediums. And then anything above that, it's like, I'm not going to bother. I can't think like that. And so, I probably have to look up maybe 2 or 3 a day. And the videos, the challenges are only like 2 to 4 minutes long, right? So they don't take very long. If you just stay on top of it each month, everybody should get that this month. It's pretty darn easy. I know the holiday could be a little goofy, but so you might miss your streak. The marathon streak where you got to go all 31 days. But again, it's on your phone, right? There shouldn't be any... And for those
you can manipulate your clock for that one too, at least on Windows. I assume you can do it on Android as well.
Yeah, probably. So I got that. I did a bunch of the other things. Like I was just sick in bed last night, and so I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to do the Entangled, where you throw out all the spider cards and then try and figure this thing out, and do the one where you don't go past 7. And I just did all the offshoot ones, and now it's essentially just grinding games, which, I'll probably have to contribute to every, maybe do a game, a couple games a day type of thing. Whatever. 2 that I'm most excited about. I talked about it significantly last show. Finished BioShock 1. I didn't realize when I stopped how quick the ending was going to be. So I played through where I left off last week. I knew I was finished Festive and Apollo Station, and so really that's just kind of home stretch right there. You're just kind of I won't use any spoilers or anything, but you're just finishing out the game, and there's a point of no return, and they very explicitly say, like, if you go in this elevator, no more saving, no more nothing. This is the final boss. And I made it to him at like 12:30 at night one night, and I was like, I gotta wake up early. I don't know how long the end is gonna be, what the boss is gonna be like. So I was like, I'll leave this for Monday, It'll be fine. So like, all right, I got a conference call. Maybe I'll just right before the conference call, and I can watch the end story. And turns out it's real quick. I mean, you just go up that elevator, and if because it's on easy, and then once you beat the boss, you flip it over to hard mode, and he's already dead. And so it just triggers all that. And to see the 3 for 240 gamer score, oh my gosh, that was just music. It was just beautiful.
Yeah.
And to know that and that is a completion. Oh, delightful. So that was awesome. And I was really happy with the ending. It was great. I loved the game. It was really cool.
Now, Barry, let's see. We were just talking about.
So you mean I can skip BioShock 2?
Yes, you can skip 2. I mean, 2's good.
And skip Infinite and just go straight to the DLC.
No, you can't really skip Infinite, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Prue about this tonight because Prue's thinking about playing it soon, and I want to do that spoiler cast. I've been waiting forever.
Yeah. The other thing, then, the final thing I did, and this caused tons of issues in my house. Destiny. I signed up. I created a session for the Destiny raid on Sunday, and if anyone played Destiny over the weekend or other multiplayer games, popular ones like Titanfall, Gears of War, Xbox had some serious issues on Sunday. I mean, it was horrible. Total goat rodeo. So I reset this up for Monday night, knowing my wife was out of town, get the kids to bed early. Well, that's when my daughter started to complain about being sick and she couldn't sleep. So I was like, all right, I got the gaming session starting at 9. She's not in bed yet. Why don't you can lay on the couch, because Destiny doesn't have any blood or anything. And you can watch me play, but if I don't talk to you, it's because I'm talking to these other people on here. And at one point, she probably was down there for 45 minutes. She came up, tugged on my shirt, and was like, I'm going to go to bed now. And she walked upstairs and went to bed. I'm like, great. And my wife freaked out on me. She was like, you let your sick daughter go upstairs by herself. You should have snuggled her. And I'm like, but there were 5 other people. I can't pause Destiny. Yeah. She's like, you got to get your priorities straight. So I think that's karma for why I got sick this week, is because I didn't take care of her. But I did finish the raid.
Well, that's the important thing.
So I did get that achievement.
Oh boy.
As far as the raid goes, I liked King's Fall raid better. This raid was very good. I thought it was really cool. The bosses, there wasn't as much of the kind of the scrubs. There's a lot more jumping puzzles, a lot more movement-based puzzles, but there wasn't a lot of ads that you had to kill. So, just the generic soldier guys.
Ads is one of those terms that should probably be explained. It's what's there, just additional enemies. So the non-core,
the non-boss.
Yep.
The non-boss enemies.
Things that spawn to annoy you.
Yeah. And set up like most of those, they have, 4 major gates, as checkpoints. And those boss fights were very cool. There were some really fun mechanics. Again, I love the fact that a first-person shooter like this has such in-depth mechanics that require so much coordination with a party. I mean, the opening segment of this raid requires I think you can do it. I'm sure people can do it by themselves. I'm sure that's the case, although it sounds nearly impossible. Realistically, you need at least 4 people, and obviously you want 6. But you can do it with at least 4 people because there's 3 nodes and then 1 person to do other things. And I won't spoil the mechanics if you want to try and figure them out on your own. That's not really my style. I just kind of do it. But and then a lot of the thing is set up like 3 lanes, and so you see that a lot. So having 6 people, 2 in each lane, it ends up working, and the teamwork dynamics are so awesome. And the final fight, the final boss fight, you can, if you know what you're doing, you can finish the first 75%, the first 3 checkpoints in like 45 minutes. If you know what you're doing and you're clicking and don't wipe out or anything, you can finish those real quick. That final boss fight takes the next level of coordination with your team. It is unbelievable the amount of communication that has to happen between call-outs, who's going where, what's happening, where the boss is, what are you doing, and the timing windows are so tight in order to hit those. It is just a piece of work. So if you haven't done any of the Destiny raids, we had talked about setting up kind of, a nightly Destiny thing. Like, I would love to keep going, and so as Gears of War ends in December, I'm thinking making Tuesday night my Destiny night. And so if you guys want to have a regular Destiny party, anyone out there interested, we'll run through old raids, I will run through strikes, Nightfall, whatever. Because everything scales to your level, so I can play really anywhere. And so anyone in the community that's interested, Tuesday nights starting in just January will be Destiny nights. So with that was a lot. That was a long set of gaming.
Okay.
I know, right?
Oof. Feel better.
We should listen to what the community has to say. I posted a comment on my friend feed, which obviously automatically posts to Twitter. And Angel SK, Joe, she said, "How early is too early for Christmas carols?" So I do want to approach that question, because I was flipping through channels. Now, my wife loves Christmas music, and I was flipping through on November 18th, okay? And I found it. It was on November 18th. That is too early. I think, for me, Christmas starts effectively November 25th, Black Friday.
December 24th.
Oh, you're all a bunch of Grinches. Come on now.
Bah humbug. And I flipped on it. She actually...
December 26th.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
She called me out because she said, "Oh, you knew the Christmas station was on and you didn't tell me?" She was not happy about that.
No,
Come on. No, everybody
you did
knows.
the right thing.
Yeah.
Everybody,
did the right thing.
No. Everybody knows Christmas music is acceptable on November 1st. That is the first day. And
are you kidding me?
Oh, yes.
No.
Oh, totally.
That is obscene.
If
The
you
day
need-
after Halloween.
If you need to wait, and I understand that need, you can give it a good week. But any time after that is fine.
The day after... My Halloween decorations are still up. I start pulling the ghosts down, but I leave the pumpkins out, right? That transitions into the fall. But come on. You're not putting up holiday lights and stuff. Well, I will check that. I did put up holiday lights on Halloween, but I didn't turn them on. And that's only... That's
the snow.
Because Minnesota is so darn cold. You might get... I usually... The first day, I feel that's acceptable to turn on lights. And people are cheating this. But I feel that November 25th, the day after Thanksgiving, is the first day you can turn on Christmas lights. So that's my rule. But,
I think it should be December.
I like to put them up that day, but late November is always dicey Minnesota. And if I had a 70-degree, November, 6th or whatever, like, I am taking advantage of a 70-degree November 6th. Like, putting up Christmas lights in a short-sleeve shirt, all you people who live in warm weather climes, like, or celebrate or live in Australia where it's summer, you guys, you don't know what it's like to put stuff up in just butt-ass cold when you can't use your hands. Oh, my God, it's so awful.
I changed my tires in the snow this year. It was horrible.
Just miserable, right?
And then it was beautiful the next day. I'm like, snow's here. Oh, it's winter. Got to put the tires on so I can use the car.
Yeah, I was going to say
Nope.
it is super regional. Like, it's very, very regional. The reason I say the day after, oh my God, Halloween is because growing up, we had a few Halloweens where it was literally snowing on Halloween. So really, the first acceptable day would be the first snow of the season. But of course, it depends on where you are. And some people don't ever even get snow. So I would say the earliest is the earliest you can get.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can safely say that we never get snow around Christmas. In Australia.
No white
it's
Christmas, huh?
It's just, yeah. And it's actually T-shirt weather at the moment. I'm in a T-shirt. It's going to be like 30-odd degrees tomorrow, Celsius. So it probably works out to about
So you guys don't
95
put
or something
snowshoes?
for you guys. No.
Yeah.
You guys don't put snowshoes on the kangaroos or anything like that?
No, they usually put them on themselves. But
well, kangaroos kind of already have snowshoes.
Yeah, they're kind of built in.
Feet, don't they? Yeah.
We get that new Forza DLC with the snow coming, so we get that to look forward to. Now, the reason we addressed the question. Now, that's not the only person that responded to this question. I don't know if you guys saw on my Twitter, but I assume that Joe is connected in some way to the Aldi UK grocery stores. And if you're not familiar with Aldi, right, it's a grocery store chain. We have them here in the States. Apparently, they're in the UK as well. But Aldi saw that and said, Joe, Freem, too early for Christmas? Kevin the Carrot doesn't think so, and
I'm willing to bet that that's just a keyword thing, and they've just matched on too early for Christmas or too early for something. And Kevin the Carrot,
and so Kevin the Carrot, and his little image here, and for some reason I see Kevin the Carrot, and I can only think of Towley's voice saying, "Only 24 sleeps till Christmas." Now, oh my God. I am so hoping Kevin the Carrot listens to the podcast because we have directly answered his question, Kevin the Carrot, and so thank you, new listener.
We go way back. He's got a great gamer score.
If we name the episode Kevin the Carrot, there's a good chance.
I was just going to say this. We need to include Kevin the Carrot in the title, so
or it'll just be called "Is It Too Early for Christmas?"
I don't know, Kevin the Carrot.
I got a tweet from Fufu Cuddly Poof, and he asks, Black Friday week later reactions. What do you guys get that you are happy with, and what do you regret buying? And I actually have an answer for this because I pulled the trigger on Recore Digital at $20. I regret not buying it for $15 3 days later.
Yeah, that was... Yeah.
You son of a...
Oh, well, it's only $5. Only $5. It's only $5.
It's only $5.
Which could have been another game. Damn it!
Could have been.
Like, you need more.
Yes.
Could have been horse armor. Could have been horse armor. That I do regret that. Games that I'm happy about that I bought. Actually, I haven't played any of them yet. I am happy about Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. That game, my son and I, like, that's actually got a decent split screen. Like, you can actually do stuff together, much unlike Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 1. And so I look forward to playing that with him without the constant reminder, you only have 2 hours left of your trial. You only have 1 hour left of your trial. So I won't feel that pressure. And I can actually do more in the game. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to Baylor Latino. It's been...
Yeah, I saw that. What the hell is it?
It's basically a Latino dancing game, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, good. I can put that to my no thanks
Tarragon
list.
Is it Connect?
It is.
Yeah, it's Connect.
Nice. Okay, I got to look this up.
It's got an unobtainable.
That's actually fixed now. So
is it?
Yes, I put that in the notes. So yes,
we'll find out.
It's no longer incompletable. So go for that. I think
Did they actually update that, or was there somebody find a workaround?
I don't know. Just I know people are unlocking it now. So, but yeah, there's it's got like 99 achievements or something as well. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
It seems like low pointers.
Though. Yeah. So,
right.
Sorry.
I said it's got to be low pointers.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Sheer quantity.
Yep.
What about you other gentlemen? Randy, did you buy anything? Prue?
Well, see.
Oh, you don't have any money. Sorry, didn't mean to rub your face.
Ooh. Come on.
You can donate blood and stuff.
And other stuff. Yes.
I think they pay more for livers and arms and stuff.
They paid me for my blood. They can buy my blood. I don't know where I could sell it, but I would gladly sell it. So
vampires, right? You just got to find some vampires. You're close to New York. There's some weirdos who live there. I'm sure they drink your blood. I watched Blade. They have those parties.
So before we get started,
now I've just got that theme in my head.
You mentioned horse armor.
Sorry.
So horse armor. Now, remember when this was a thing? Armor. This was like a tragedy. They're selling this thing for $5 and it's only cosmetic and it doesn't do anything.
I remember that. That controversy. Yeah.
It's the first DLC.
Yeah.
Well, the first, completely cosmetic
that's
DLC.
in every single game now. And people are happy about it. People are happy about it being there.
Well, it's funny now. Oh, so here's okay.
Well,
I was gonna get to this a
I
little
have
bit later.
opinions.
I think it's funny that people still make fun of horse armor and then buy horse armor in a different game for twice as much money.
So NBA Kirkland, he tweeted this. He got his question read on IGN Podcast Unlocked this last week. And his question, and I'll pose it to you guys, in April 2009, what did Bethesda do to the infamous horse armor DLC for Oblivion for Xbox 360?
I know this one.
Was it A, gave it away for free, B, reduced its effectiveness, C, doubled its price, or D, delisted it?
It's C. Doubled its price.
What?
They cut the price on all of their DLC by 50%, except horse armor, which they doubled.
What?
Like, how brilliant is that?
It was an April Fool's joke.
Yeah, it was a
wasn't
joke, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
April 2009.
Yeah, I assumed they changed it back the next day, but I remember that. It's absolutely hilarious.
It is hilarious. And I mean, so they embraced it. And kudos to you, NBA, for getting your question on. You have to let us know what your gift was, what you ended up getting from the show. But I'll be interested to hear on the most recent one them mention your name.
Yeah, so I just wanted to comment on that because
you bought horse armor for Black Friday?
No, just because people still talk about horse armor like it's a joke, and then don't realize or don't see it as this is in every game now, and now this is normal.
Well,
what was that? I don't know, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
This was like
I know it was absolutely an outrage at the time. But the thing is gamers seem to be okay with optional cosmetic DLC, like paying for that sort of stuff or choosing not to pay for it because it is not paying to win. And it seems to be, it's become more acceptable over time because it is a way to support the developer that's not actually going to impact your game in a way that will affect other players. So say if it's a big multiplayer game, for example, you buy something cosmetic, that's not going to change the way the game actually functions and it's not going to give you an advantage. So I think people have become a lot more accepting of that sort of thing, just as optional add-on extras. But I remember at the time, though, it was absolutely controversial, and people were like, want bang for blood and whatnot. But it's just it's interesting how times have changed with that sort of thing.
Agreed.
And I don't know. I've been wanting to. I mean, I've been saying this off the podcast for a while, just as a thing. But it just seemed like a good transition to bring that up because it's not like, we're not going to do a whole segment on my opinion on horse armor. But it is unfortunate, though. I agree. And I think it's great for big multiplayer games and things like that.
I spent a crap ton on Elite Dangerous skins for ships. So, I'm totally okay with that.
I look at RuneScape
for
too,
ships and giggles.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Where's my rim shot?
Where is it? Come on.
Sorry. Okay.
So I look at a big online game like RuneScape. They embrace that where they did a huge cosmetic rework, and you could buy it with real money, you could buy it with in-game money. It works fantastic, and I think that's great. But this is also in a lot of single player games, which is just not okay with me. That was never okay. It never should be okay. It's just you're the only one there. It used to come in the game. Now they're charging you $20 for it. Not okay.
Hang on. Is there not a situation that you have purchased cosmetic something for 99 cents or $2 or? I'm just curious. I mean, I have.
Not in a single player game.
Well, but in any game, have you paid money for essentially useless cosmetic stuff?
One time in a multiplayer game, $1.
Okay. So and free. So have you as well?
And I'm okay with multiplayer games. Multiplayer is fine. Single player is not.
I think I paid $2 for what my avatar is wearing, so I think that would count.
Yes, Avatar. I think I spent $3.
See, okay, all right.
But Avatar's multiplayer again.
It's not really.
Kind of. I mean, it's not just for you. It's for everything.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think
it's like gamer picks.
Well, I'll pose something. I'll pose something for you, Randy. In a game like Elite Dangerous, I play that pretty much completely solo. I'm in solo mode all of the time. However, I take pictures of things that are particularly scenic, and I share that sort of thing, and I have cosmetic items for that sort of thing. So is that okay? Because even though it's essentially a solo game for me, the cosmetic items add to how I share that particular game with other people. So what's your take on that?
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you can play Elite as kind of an MMO type game, like you have your single player portion and your MMO portion by the sounds of things. I don't actually know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
interpreting
they're a shared universe, but you can choose to basically play in a PvE mode. But the universe and the way the background works, it's still all shared essentially. But
do you still encounter other players?
If you're in PvE mode, you never see another player. No.
Okay. Well, the fact that you can switch it over, I would still consider it multiplayer.
Okay, well, but if for argument's sake it was completely solo, and I mean the thing is that I do those cosmetic things because it pleases me to see my own ship in that game, and the same would be with any other cosmetic item in a single player game. Is that you're doing it because that's the thing that you look at a lot and you want your thing to look cool in the game that you're spending a lot of time with. If for the sake of argument, Elite was a completely solo experience, and I'd done that. Is that acceptable? Given that I'm taking vistas shots and things like that and sharing it around, and I just happen to enjoy the look of the thing that I've bought.
At that point, if it was single player only, I think it should have been included with the base game.
How about you're playing Batman, Arkham Knight or whatever, Arkham City, and the next Batman movie comes out. Now, obviously, we would prefer that you would get that content for free, but like, let's say you were a super Batman fan and you wanted that costume, and it was just you playing that single player game. I depending on the situation, I don't think I'd pay for it, but there are circumstances where I could see myself going for that.
I mean, I've done exactly that because I've actually bought a particular pack for Arkham City, I'm pretty sure it was, which actually gave you access to a whole bunch of extra costumes for Batman. Completely cosmetic, nothing multiplayer in that. I mean, I've bought that, and it's just because it's cool to have those costumes on your guy as you're going around the city. It's just, it's what you like to see. You want to change up your experience just a bit. And I don't think there's really anything particularly wrong with that. I mean, I know what I'm going in for.
Yeah, it's just the thing. My problem with it is those costumes probably would have been in that game for free if this wasn't okay. So it's taking something out that was there before and then selling it to you for extra money. That's my real issue. And that's why I'm kind of torn on that new movie one, because that's a really different situation where it's like, there's no way that this could have been withheld from the game. This has to be new because this didn't exist yet. So
I don't know.
I don't know. It's tough. And then I started thinking, okay, well, what if there's like 300 costumes to pick from? Because that's so many that it's not reasonable that you would have that many in the game.
Unless there was financial incentive for them to put it in. So in that case,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I guess the other thing there as well is
the costumes in Arkham City. There's not enough to say. Yeah, they probably just didn't. They just probably added out. No, they probably just withheld it, and it should have been in there in the first place.
Possibly.
You should have 6 costumes to pick from.
Yeah, maybe.
You shouldn't have to pay an extra $5.
Well, maybe not. I mean, some people don't care about the extra costumes. They're not going to pay for them. But the thing is that we also demand that, our video games get cheaper over time. So we expect that we're not going to be paying as much for these things. We expect that, we ask a lot. We ask a lot of these
dramatic.
Well, we ask a lot of our video games, and also expect them to be cheaper. So there needs to be some sort of give and take there. They need to recover some of that cash flow. I mean,
but they are in the increased audience. I mean, look at the number of Xbox 360 consoles sold compared to like an N64. the games are the same price, but the audience, I don't know the numbers, but I assume has probably increased at least tenfold.
Possibly.
So that would mean you were selling 10 times more copies.
That's one thing, but the other side of that is that it also has the cost of making games has also increased 10 or 20-fold. It's like, to make a game back in the N64 era would have cost you a drop in the ocean compared to the amount it costs to make a AAA game these days. So
maybe people should, I don't know, not make their budgets so big.
Yeah.
Well, and costs have gone down with the ability to license engines like, the Unity or Frostbite or whatever. Back in the day, everyone built everything from scratch.
Yeah, that's a part of it. But the thing is, you're then spending you're spending that other money on voice actors and on 3D art and on all of the other
marketing
and
don't
all that
spend $200 million on marketing.
Well,
Modern Warfare 2 when it cost $60 million to produce. It's like you could produce it for $60 million instead of $260 million. I don't know.
I think those figures are a little bit overblown there.
No, that actually was. I remember that because I looked it up. The production cost of Modern Warfare 2 was $60 million. The marketing budget was $200 million.
So it was $260 million in the hole before they sold a copy. That just seems a bit wrong.
Well, GTA 5 beat that marketing budget. I think theirs was like 250-ish, not by a ton.
Yeah, but they sell 20 million copies at $60 a pop, and that's not even including...
I'm sure they make money, but it's I don't know. I question the effectiveness of the marketing when you're putting that much money into it. Like, I really don't think that spending, $50 million versus $200 million is going to make that much of a difference. I mean, everybody's going to buy it. Like, I don't know. I feel like a ton of people are going to buy it anyway.
Yeah,
and you're kind of throwing money away at that point.
I suspect a lot of that money is actually about scale, because you talk, okay, I could spend $50 million advertising in the US. Then if I want to also advertise in the UK, I need to add another $10 million on top of that. And if I want to advertise in the rest of Europe, add another $40 million onto that. If I want to advertise in Australia, add another $10 million. It just kind of adds up that you've got the same kind of campaign, but to get the kind of reach, which is to get your game on the side of buses, to get your game on TV, to get all of these things, it costs that much more in scale because you're going around the world. So, I mean, it probably sounds like a lot, but it isn't actually when you think about it in the global scale.
But do you need to spend almost 4 times the production budget of your game?
No, I think it sounds ludicrous.
Yeah, but you have to think of a game like Call of Duty. If that does not necessarily appeal to a gamer who knows these are coming out every time. You're trying to appeal to your casual, I buy one game a year. I'm not going to follow when the release date is. Oh, holy crap, it's on that bus. Oh, it's on top of my football game that I'm watching all my buddies are getting Call of Duty. I mean, I just ran the numbers. At 20 million copies at $60 a copy, that's $1.2 billion. So what? So you spend a fifth of that in marketing? Sounds like easy money,
including the overpriced DLC.
Oh, exactly.
So, I mean, it's like, games are getting cheaper because money is worth less over time, but I don't think that they're making less money. I think they're just taking advantage. Well, I mean, not everybody, obviously. I mean, of course, indie developers are not Activision.
But look at the games that do plaster themselves on the side of city buses, and it's your GTA, it's your Call of Duty.
I remember Doom. I saw Doom when I was taking the bus like every day.
It is the games that do the best. I mean, generally speaking, or it's a one and done and you never see it again anyways. So
but would they have still been the best if they weren't on the sides of buses?
Well, ask yourself that question. Why? Okay, so for every Grand Theft Auto that comes out, they spend more and more on marketing, and every single game that comes out, they break more and more records. So, I mean, if you're a marketer, if you're a person that's in that industry, like, what does that mean? Is it because of your marketing strategy, or is it because the games are better? I mean, is GTA 5 however much percentage better than GTA 4 that it sold that much better, or is it because there was outreach, there was better exposure to that game?
I think it has to do with that. I mean, you've got a built-in audience of people who enjoyed the first game, and they may have left gaming. You need to remind them there's a new game coming out this year. Assassin's Creed coming out this year. Imagine how much money Ubisoft's going to have to put in to get everyone back because they're not used to an Assassin's Creed this year. I mean, they had the SEO collection and they tried to come up with a kind of release this year, but when they come out with their next full Assassin's Creed, you got to believe they're going to go into full on. I mean, they're going to tie it with the movie release. They're going to, I mean, they have so many things they need to pull these people back into the franchise because they took a year off. You know, and I could see that might be one of the issues why Battlefield doesn't have quite the numbers. Now, they make great games, and it's great that they spend so much time in between so that the product is really good. Because we can talk about annualized franchises, how, you know, they continually diminish in quality. But ultimately, you've got that user base that is ready to re-up every time.
And interestingly enough, sales are sort of down. I mean, I was on another podcast, the Xbox Roundtable, I think it was, Rand was talking about this. The figures for Call of Duty have been down, and they've been down consistently. And even the latest one, I mean, they're still good, but they're certainly down, and it's a downward trend.
I was betting on this one being the bestseller ever.
Yeah, but I think most
because
that's what Activision will tell you.
But most games I think were actually down this quarter.
Well, there's
just sales in general. So yeah.
Well, and then there's also the thing with every AAA game coming out is a mess. I mean, I guess not everyone, but a lot.
I suppose
it's really becoming a trend.
So before we completely forget about this, I did come up with one cosmetic item that I have spent.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Nice.
Yeah, that's where this came from. And it was a $24 Destiny t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I completed my Moments of Triumph, and I bought a t-shirt with my gamer tag on it. And that is like the epitome of cosmetic. I mean, I literally wear it out, and it gets me no achievements.
Yeah, that's like TKO. You can buy your cosmetic, which is brilliant. I think it's fantastic, and the pricing is great.
Oh, so a t-shirt for his own single player game is fine, but just not for the single player game.
Yeah, because it's a real t-shirt. You get it in the mail.
No, it's an ARG. I exist in an ARG.
Yeah, real life is a multiplayer game. It's totally acceptable.
Yes.
Listen,
anyway.
I guess my whole point is maybe not make fun of everybody who's ever bought horse armor, because maybe some people didn't mean to buy it and they did. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, I actually did have a friend that bought it by accident.
Before we completely leave NBA Kirkland's tweet, he did also tweet, he got a survey response from TiVo, which for some reason...
I didn't get to make my Black Friday joke.
Oh, what's your Black Friday joke?
Well, I mean, both games were happy and regret. I bought 2 games at $1.99 each, Fireburst and Hunter's Trophy America.
Yep.
Hunter's Trophy 2 America. Both are just absolutely terrible. But both were games that I wanted and I was convinced were never going to go on sale.
I don't even know what those games are.
Exactly. They're both published by Big Ben.
I've got them both. I can't tell you what they are.
Yeah, I didn't know Big Ben was involved in Fireburst until it installed my console, and then you went, Big Ben logo on it. I was like, yeah, Big Ben. I love Big Ben shovelware.
I'm so confused.
And Hunter's Trophy. If for anybody, check out the Bad Master achievement. Best achievement ever. Having killed a dog.
Maybe that'll be... Yep. Well, now it's definitely not going to be the achievement sponsor.
It should be the achievement sponsor.
Maybe later. That sounds awful. So what I was saying, NBA Kirkland got a tweet from TiVo asking the survey, what would you rather, 100 horse-sized ducks or 1 duck-sized horse? Wait, what? No, I said that wrong.
What would you rather fight?
What would you rather fight? 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? This thing is everywhere. It's pervasive. And so WH did consonants, GG. He posted the Know Your Meme for it, where this came from. Of course, you know, it's just been rampant on the internet, and that's why we got it. But one of my favorite things is that Bill Nye the Science Guy chimed in. And he I think he settles it here. He says, a horse-sized duck would probably collapse on itself, and a duck-sized horses would freeze to death because of their size. So in actuality, they're all dead. So whatever you pick is the wrong choice. So thank you, Bill Nye, for ruining
Or the
that.
right choice, because you would win by default either way.
I guess you just have to, if you got to fight in the cold or just watch this thing collapse under its sheer girth.
See, in that case, I'd actually find the collapsing under its girth kind of thing kind of amusing, kind of macabre,
kind of sad,
kind of macabre way, but yeah.
I'm still convinced I can.
Oh my God, it hurts.
So aside from
Sorry.
the random comments on my friend feed, we do have a legitimate question from X Towers who says, "What is the best survival game that's on the console or otherwise?" He's looking for a true nature simulator where you have to manage hunger, thirst, body temperature, etc. Does one even exist?
7 Days to Die.
I saw the question and immediately thought 7 Days to Die is probably the closest.
Did you? Because I thought Flame in the Flood and Don't Starve.
Those two are also very good examples. But I think 7 Days to Die was the one that popped to mind anyway, that fit that criteria.
So what do we got? First person, isometric, and what is Don't Starve? That's considered isometric, isn't it? It's like that 3/4.
It would be isometric, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not 3D. It's like Link to the Past, Zelda Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Isn't that like slanty 3/4 view? I don't know what that means.
Oh yeah, I guess
I would say Link to the Past is top. Oh.
I guess it would be
kind of
top down.
Did you ever see when they made that a 3D render of A Link to the Past?
No.
It's really interesting because everything has to tilt backwards. Like they're all, if you take it as a vertical model and then you have to tilt it 45 degrees so that it looks normal facing you.
Yep.
From that top-down angle. It's really bizarre.
In Don't Starve, you can rotate the camera as well. So I guess it would be that same kind of a thing.
I guess. Anyway, those are the 3 games I can think of. Are we missing other things?
What's that big zombie one?
DayZ?
No, it's
Rust.
No, it's the one that's got challenge.
Days Gone.
That's the one that's got challenges still.
Oh.
What's that?
State of Decay.
Yeah, isn't that sort of along those lines, just with zombies?
Does that have body temperature and stuff though?
It doesn't have body temperature. It does have hunger though.
Yeah.
It has stamina, a lot of stamina, and base building and stuff. But
yeah.
So what's the best? What are we thinking? What do we like the best?
7 Days to Die is super fun. I've gone back to that one a couple of times. Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
And multiplayer too.
Yes.
Yeah,
how many? 2 or 4?
So. I'm not sure.
A bunch, I think. I don't know. I think you can have 10 or something. Check.
Wow, that's a lot.
Because you set up a server and then it just runs and people can join as long as the host.
I just thought of another one. Elite Dangerous.
That doesn't sound very nature.
Well, you're in nature.
Space is nature.
Yep.
No, space is not nature. Space is devoid of nature. That's the inherent nature of space.
It's only up to 4.
I guess it depends on how you define nature.
Space contains all of nature.
Yeah, that's neither.
No, space is empty of nature.
Well, hang on, no. It really depends on how you define nature in that.
So you're saying that stars aren't a natural phenomena?
Yes. Yeah, you have to define nature. That's the only way that we're gonna.
But again, you're not in the stars. You're in the void space between stars,
which is where stars exist, which is part of nature. Which is you literally have to define nature to have that argument.
But to me, that's natural. That's not nature.
That's like saying the ocean is unnatural because most of the... it depends on how you... Yeah, you have to define it. Sorry, you have to define nature.
I would say it's natural. I wouldn't say it's nature. I think well, maybe I would because it's an ecosystem.
Yeah.
I think nature has to involve an ecosystem as far as I'm concerned.
And space is part of the ecosystem in the grand sense of things.
Yes.
If we didn't have space, we wouldn't exist.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, 7 Days to Die is only 4 people.
Okay. 7 Days to Die, 4 people. That's still pretty good, though.
It should really be 7 people, fun. Just to make that make sense, really.
That would be funny.
Yeah, there it is. Lord Chibello, he says, hey, I gotta troll Randy here, but he says, what do you guys feel about all the pre-order bonuses for Final Fantasy? Well, he wrote 25, but it's actually 15 is the one that came out.
Oh, I've actually pre-ordered 25.
Oh, I bet.
You should do that right away because they need your money.
They might run out. They might run out of digital copies.
And it's the final one, and it is the final one. I mean, come on.
Oh my God.
It says it right in the title.
Let's play that out, right? So how long it took to make Final Fantasy 15? When would we expect 25? I mean, is this like the year 2200 something?
Like, I don't know.
It's probably the year that Elite Dangerous is actually set in, like
3301
or something.
Now, from what everybody's saying, this actually is a wildly popular game. Like, it is very cool. I mean, it's intrigued me. After the disaster of a demo at E3, like, I was completely put off. And now from everything I'm seeing, I'm like, I don't know. It looks real pretty. It looks real pretty. But some of these pre-order things, oh my God.
I didn't see them.
So I will, let me link to it here. IGN happens to have a complete guide to everything that you want to know about your pre-order bonuses. And you can see the full list of like what Microsoft Store is offering, what GameStop is offering. Of course, you get the deluxe edition for $90. Steel books and whatnot, the digital premium edition.
Is there a version that I can get which will let me get early access to the game? Because I really want to pick that up now.
So I had seen someone said that the GameStop version was the best. This was Lucky32468 says that the bonuses at GameStop are the best because it comes with an extra game for 1,000 gamer score.
Yeah, but that does have 1,000 gamer score, yeah.
Which one?
A King's Tale Final Fantasy 15.
I was wondering what that was, because there's... Yeah. So, what is that?
So, what is that?
I don't know. There's a picture here. It's like, looks like a Game Boy.
Oh, a retro-inspired kind of side-scroller set 30 years before Final Fantasy 15 and is only available in the U.S. through GameStop.
Oh, this one looks like it comes with a toque. That's kind of cool.
It features a combo and counter-based combat system, magic, companions, summons, and more.
Jeez, so they made this
whole... I kind of want to play... I'd actually almost rather play that than the real game.
Yeah.
A side-scrolling brawler? I love those games.
Well, you better pop your $90 down for your deluxe edition.
Jeez Louise. Is that what I need? $90. Ugh.
So
no, wait, I think I can do the $85.
Or you can wait 2 weeks and it'll be like $60.
Yeah.
Or like
too.
$30.
Yeah.
Well, and they'll release a King's Tale separate, right? Once the exclusivity for GameStop comes out.
That's what I'm wondering with the new South Park as well, because the Stick of Truth on Xbox One you could only get by pre-order, and I think they cut people off now. I don't think you get it until the game actually releases now, which is weird that they do it that way. But I mean, I get it, but it's still kind of weird, and I'm hoping that does release because I'm not pre-ordering.
You know, earlier I was trying to think of how many games that you can play on backwards compatibility as well as have re-released on the One. I don't know how many there are, but Stick of Truth is definitely one of them.
Yeah,
Stick of Truth, Saints Row 4 Australia. Those are the only ones I know off the top of my head.
I think some of the Assassin's Creeds are as well. I think the Assassin's Creed.
Oh yes, actually I don't know.
Yeah,
are any of them?
I was going to say
Assassin's Creed 2 is, I think.
Is 2 backwards compatible?
No, it's just games with gold.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
anyways,
not yet.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get
because they likely knew they're coming out the Ezio collection.
Yeah,
but there are a surprising number of them.
Oh no, Assassin's Creed 2 is backwards compatible.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
Right. Which I mean, that's why I was shocked that Rayman Legends became backwards compatible.
Oh yeah, Rayman Legends. Yeah.
I was like, why? That just seems weird. That
because they've already sold their copies of the Xbox One version. They know they're not going to sell many more. They don't care.
I guess.
People double up or something.
Borderlands never got a re-release on the One, did it?
Yes, it did. The Handsome Collection.
Not the original Borderlands. Not Borderlands 1, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, so to answer the question, I'm between GameStop and Best Buy. I like the toque, but the free game looks pretty cool. That's probably the best one. But they're all terrible because the pre-order bonuses stop pre-ordering, and this won't happen. You'll just get the game when you buy the game, regardless of where you buy it. So stop buying into this.
Just stop.
You'll get the toque, you'll get the game, you'll get everything.
So just on that, the actual bonus game I don't think is a pre-order bonus. I think it's just part of that particular edition. So you can pick it up without pre-ordering it. From what I gather.
Does it cost $25?
Well, it'll cost whatever
it costs about $55 right now, because that's what GameStop does with used games.
The deluxe edition thing is. But yeah, I guess it depends whether it's a code in the box. If it's a code, then you're out of luck. But yeah,
I hope it's multiplayer too. Boy, that would be fun. You're getting a co-op brawler Final Fantasy action with some buddies, Castle Crasher style. I would love that. Seriously. Speaking of Castle Crashers, I need a group to do Back Off Barbarian with. I saw Big L's video on it, and he and M, and there was like 4 people on that. And if you're in a group only one person of your group of 4 needs to survive 2.5 minutes, and everybody gets the achievement.
I'll do it.
And so it's still tough as nails. You got to be lucky as all get out, but again, you just increase your chances because hopefully you can spread the bad guys around, or somebody gets lucky. But so yeah, we got to find a night to get a group of 4 people together and try and back off Barbarian.
I'll do it.
I'll get in on that. I've never played Castle Crashers.
Oh, I love that game. I'll play it literally anytime there's an opportunity to play.
It's easy to play.
You're playing it right now, aren't you?
It's easy completion.
I am. I'm playing it literally right now.
It's an easy completion on the one, isn't it? Other than that one,
if you played the 360 version.
Well, no. I mean, it's an easy completion overall.
Wait, do the achievements?
No, they don't. Forward? They don't carry over.
They don't necessarily port, but all your save stuff does. And
yes.
So you've got the map opened up, so you can go directly to the princesses. You have all of the weapons except 2 new ones, and if you mastered the original, and you have all the pets except 2 new pets.
So how long does the original take? Because I have the original.
That stuff's not hard to do.
10 hours, 8 hours?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not hard. It's a fairly simple...
And most of that is the 40 multiplayer kills are just kind of annoying.
Yes. Yeah. Most of it is, like, literally most of the annoying achievements of either of those games are the stupid side multiplayer stuff that you have to do. The straightforward game
I can boost that.
You can probably boost that with your 8 consoles, yeah.
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 Okay, cool.
You'd probably find a way. A few news topics I want to touch on, and these are mostly just silly and fun. Number 1, my favorite Fallout 4 mod has now come available to everyone, and what it does is it reverses the toilet paper to come over the top instead of under the bottom.
It is about time. It is about time.
Well, here's the thing.
Every game should have this.
About this.
The humanity, right? The humanity.
Here's the thing about this mod. I mean, the mod definitely fixes the problem, but here it's about atmosphere, right, guys? This is literally the end of civilization, which is why the toilet paper came from the bottom in the base game.
It's suggesting that the world is in complete disarray, that people cannot put toilet paper on correctly.
That's exactly right. So
I get it.
Yeah, it's actually fixing a problem that kind of is just there to kind of get you into the mood.
I see. Is it something to do with like which hemisphere you're in as well? Is there anything?
Why, do you go underneath or you come over the top?
No, we come over the top. Well, I prefer it over the top, but I'm kind of wondering whether it's a preference. If people prefer it underneath if they're in like the southern hemisphere, and prefer it over the top if they're in the northern hemisphere. And I've just got a northern hemisphere brain.
Over the top is the way to go.
Yeah. Over the top.
It's not a preference. If you're not an animal, you're going to go over the top for sure. So
Except civilized, please.
Yeah. Usually, what happens is the toilet paper just gets put on top of the empty toilet paper roll.
Yeah, that's
standing vertically.
Yeah,
whatever. It gets used up so fast. Whatever.
This next one is, and it's to your favorite publication, Tarragon, Polygon. Well, they posted there's a book out there. I suggest you guys all take a look at it. It is just fascinating. But there's a Minecraft book coming out. It's called Beautiful Minecraft. It's from No Starch Publications, or No Starch Press. No Starch Press. And it's 112 pages of Minecraft creations. These beautiful landscapes. I mean, and these things are exquisite. Like, I mean, they're just so amazing in what they've done, and like they even have data on them. So like the first one on this little video image here, Vigard Elsitz, so that's the creator. He calls it Lindblom Gate, made in 2015. One builder, 300,000 blocks, took him 60 days.
I'm just looking at that one and going, like, there's like cloud stuff over it. Have they actually put a cloud superimposed over it, or are they using like some of the latest?
Some of the filters.
I'm wondering if they're using some of the latest, like Minecraft recently added like glass that you could tint. So I'm just wondering if that's like tinted glass that he's put on there to mimic clouds or something. It's like, gee.
You know, you got the next image, Blockwork Team's Gotham City. 12 builders, 25 million blocks, took them 5 days. I mean, this thing is just brilliant. It's got a blimp out there. It's got like flying car. I mean, I don't know what that looks like, cable cars and stuff. I mean, just the level of detail, and I think the ones that truly, I mean, 12 builders, that takes some huge coordination, but the ones like are one builder, 10 million blocks, 1 year, like, good God, that's just crazy. But these things are just beautiful. I kudos to these people for the amount of time and dedication to make this. It is fascinating. I said it again, fascinating. But this one is. You guys, so if you're listening to this podcast, take a look at the show notes for this link.
Oh, frame. Now I have to put it in the show notes. God.
Grab the book. It's in there. You got it.
These look like they could be like an art gallery exhibit. Like
I mean, it's essentially a coffee table book, right? And you just pick it up and be like, hey, someone made this in a video game. And to think, like, I know in the PC you have a lot more flexibility with how you can move and fly around and do all these things, but like to just think, like, you could take your little character and literally hop through this and just, you know, dig a hole into the building or whatever, climb to the top of Gotham if you wanted. In game, you can actually play
the
this.
Deep Sea one is pretty awesome.
They're all I was fascinating. I thought this was really cool, and if you if you got a few minutes, take a look. I totally recommend it. The last two items are both Telltale related. Telltale has announced, it initially leaked and then they came forward and said, oh, yeah, here it is. We knew they were doing a Marvel tie-in. Well, the Marvel tie-in is Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, that's great. I think the Guardians of the Galaxy, because they're funny, they can be, there's some dire instances, like they can all, I think it really can play well. One of my biggest concerns is that it's going to follow the Game of Thrones template, where you've got the multiple characters split in different angles. I didn't like that. I liked a relatively cohesive, single-person storyline, or maybe two people, like how Tales from the Borderlands did it, where you had both sides of the story. I'm a little nervous they're going to do like, oh, and this is Gamora's, and this is what Groot sees, and this is what Rocket sees. that kind of bothers me.
If they did do it from Groot's point of view, he would literally have the same dialogue no matter which choice you had. So
that would be pretty funny, wouldn't it?
X would be Groot, Y would be Groot, B would be Groot, and I think A would be Silent Groot.
Yeah.
So
right. Ellipses.
Yep. Bracket. Groot. Bracket. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is exciting. I'm as a Telltale fan and a Marvel fan. It's great. It wouldn't have been the first choice for me. I would have.
What would have been your first choice?
Probably Spider-Man. I think.
What about Batman?
No, Spider-Man's better than Batman,
and he's not even Marvel.
I know. But
I kind of would like Deadpool. I think just seeing all those jokes would be pretty darn funny.
See, it depends. Here's the thing: we don't really know now how it appears that, because the teaser was so short, it appears that the game is going to be based on the movie version of Guardians of the Galaxy, which is great. But I'm not really sure how much they get to play around in the Marvel universe. In the same way that Batman now, I've kind of been looking for other references to other DC properties just to see if they're going to play around in that space. It doesn't seem that they can or they will. So this is
I've heard other things. I've heard they've made some serious departures with Batman that been pretty significant.
Yes, they do. Don't get me wrong. They're playing around with the Batman canon, but they're not playing around with the DC universe. It's very much a Batman story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying here is this seems to be also just it's very early, of course, but just a Guardian story, which is fine.
Yeah, I guess.
But if they're
that's part of, I guess, the problem with Game of Thrones is that they're stuck by the canon of the actual stories, and they need to kind of wedge their story into that. So they're kind of locked in place a little bit. With Batman, I guess they got a bit more freedom to move because they could say, well, okay, we're an entirely different universe version of Batman. We'll just do what we want with it. Yep. Guardians of the Galaxy, just by what you're saying there, is going to be based more on the movie side of things. So they're going to be shoehorned a little bit by that. But I guess they're not going to be shoehorned by the comic universe in that sense, because they can sort of play with the movie areas of it and touch on bits that, the bits that are canon in the comic won't necessarily be canon in the movie, is what I'm trying to say. And so they can go. Yeah.
I think you'd come up with some really good Wolverine stories.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Take some of the lesser known. He's so overplayed though. I get that.
And he's
dead.
He's dead now, so
Whoa, spoiler.
He's been dead for like 2 years.
Hang on, Logan is coming out fairly soon.
Well, they've got Old Man Logan, so yeah, and they had the whole universes thing, and then they came back together, and Old Man Logan was in our universe, and you've got X-23 being the new Wolverine and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, nerds. Moving on.
Nerds. Anyway.
Well, what's not nerdy is I'm going to shoehorn this last news item with my zombie news corner, and it is, of course, Telltale's Walking Dead Season 3. And it's actually pretty exciting. The Season 3 debut, two-parter. The Tie That Binds, Episode 1 and Episode 2, and they both release on December 20th.
Yes.
Do we still think this is going to be a 5-episode arc? Did they say?
So is that like it's an intro? Does that mean it's actually a playable thing, or is it just like hey, welcome back to the universe? These are the bits to see about it, or is it or is it chapter 1 and 2 of like the start of the new story?
Yes, it's part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
Part 1 and part 2, and the other thing that is actually pretty interesting what they've done is they are doing a lot more integration with what you did in previous games. And so you will be able to transfer your save over like you did in the first one, but it will, because they started to branch so much more. I think there was, 6 possible endings in episode 2 or season 2. They're propagating each one of those and how that plays out. And so you, again, have all these different iterations. Now, they do say also if you don't, and I know what you're going to say, Tarragon, at some point they're just going to shoehorn you all back to one point, right? They're going to take all 6, and then within the first act, you're all coming back to one point, and it can branch from there.
Maybe.
You're such a cynic. I knew you were going to say that. But what I will say
is, me with Randy
they're
here,
also.
Or what's? do I need to
not,
put like the Randy?
Were you not going to say that?
That better? Yeah.
Yeah. Were you not going to say that?
I was.
See, there's your negativity frame. There it is.
Yeah. Well, I was actually thinking there were 6 endings. I can think of 3. I didn't know there were another 3. I'll have to go back and look at that. But
I think there were 3, and I think they happened earlier than the other 3. I think there were two decisions that branched. Anyway, I actually haven't even played season 2, so I don't know that for a fact. But I'm pretty sure I remember 6. Anyway, if you don't have your save or you never played those, they're going to have kind of like what The Witcher did, Witcher 3, where you can go and kind of pre-pick events that happen, and that'll create your own backstory
very Mass
for
Effect
you.
as well.
Mass Effect.
Yeah, so it's approachable, right? This is kind of what had to fill in the backstory of the universe. If you haven't played the previous games, though, I totally recommend them. I thoroughly enjoyed season
probably
1.
pick them up for very cheap because they're on sale
cheap.
every other week.
Just
just like the season pass for this will probably be on sale about a week after it comes out, as it usually is. But anyway. Yep. That's probably my main complaint with Telltale. Actually, is I've kind of gone that route. I bought the first one, then buy the season pass, and then by the time you sort of get to episode 3, episode 3, they release that, and then they release a cut rate cost of the season pass and release episode 1 for free, and it's just like
2 weeks later.
Wait a month and buy the disc. That's
or
what
you could wait 6 months and buy all of them together, like every single Telltale thing together in a bundle for about half the price of it.
You can do that too. Yep.
Not bitter.
All right, let's move into Knobs and Discos, our home for unobtainable and discontinued achievements. Randy, you're back. Why don't you regale us with
all this stuff that he didn't put in there?
I didn't find any this week, so I think it's Tarragon's week for Knobs and Discos.
Attaboy. Let's hear it
Alrighty.
then. Downside.
Well, Handball 16 has 2 knobs, 2 unobtainables, Celebrity and the Thrill of the Challenge. There is actually a bug in the game where the career mode freezes at a certain point, at a certain season, and it's impossible to continue. So those achievements are not obtainable until they fix that particular crash.
Handball 16 Game of the Year nominee.
Oh, isn't that a Big Ben game?
Could be. Probably. Despicable Me, Minion Rush. Every achievement in that game is now discontinued. They had a patch out for it that patched out the achievements. Previously, you were able to still launch the game, but it is apparently you now can no longer launch the game without the updates. So effectively, the entire achievements in the game are broken from that point. So you can continue to play it without achievements, but no more achievements in that one, unfortunately. A newish game, Yesterday Origins, has an unobtainable at the moment, or a suspected unobtainable, Human Calculator. I got this from the True Achievements review of the game by Rebecca Smith, Punky Liar. That's one to watch out for. I suspect they will get patched relatively soon. And there was the fixed unobtainable that I mentioned earlier. People have been starting to unlock the Baila Latino Dancer, which is the achievement for getting all of the dances or something like that. No?
Now, a note on that one. 2 people have it, 2 people don't. So 2 people have 99 out of 100, which means they should have that achievement, and they don't. And 2 people have 100.
Maybe they just haven't opened the game or something like that. But
or it's buggy.
But at any rate, people are unlocking it again, or are unlocking it, so it's potentially fixed or something's going on there. There might be a workaround. I'm not sure. But anyway.
And then on Handball, another one. Which version is that has the unobtainable? Is it both?
I don't know.
There's a 360 and a 1.
I'm pretty sure
and people have completed both, apparently.
Really? So maybe it's fixed now. All right.
Because it looks like the first person to complete the one version was on 28th November 2015. Okay. I don't know.
I thought it was the one version. Let me just look it up.
Could be a different Handball. I think there's a new one that just came out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if it's going to be anything, it'll be a new one.
And it is Big Ben. Maybe Handball 17? Handball 17 has 2 unobtainable achievements, so that would be the one. I think. Complete all challenges, be recruited by a 4-star team.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, Thrill of the Challenge and Celebrity. No, it was definitely 16, and maybe it's been fixed already, or somebody's got to work around.
Yeah, the Thrill of the Challenge and Celebrity are both unobtainable.
Right, okay, maybe it's 17 then.
Okay.
How can they not get our handball games right, guys? Come on.
It's terrible.
It's Big Ben, too.
They're usually so reliable.
I know.
Greatest games of all time.
Well, speaking of Big Ben, though, Freem, to answer your question last week, the game where you save by smoking is Too Dark.
Too Dark. That's a PC-only game?
It's not released yet. That's the one that I saw at the Big Ben booth.
That's right.
At GDC that I'm really looking forward to.
Yes, I remember you telling me
which you'll
about
probably
that.
never play because it'll have unobtaintables.
Well,
and it's a survival horror, isn't it?
Well, it's published by Big Ben. We'll see.
Big Ben are involved. It's going to have unobtainables.
Yes, that turns.
I think it's published by Big Ben. I don't know. They were at the Big Ben booth. Maybe they were just also. I don't know.
With your man crush on Big Ben, did you just give them hugs while you're there, or?
No, I didn't. But I had to restrain laughter a little bit because it's okay. First of all, saying Big Ben booth, I'm going to the Big Ben booth.
Was it big? It was the Big Ben booth?
It wasn't the biggest Big Ben booth, but it was a moderately big Big Ben booth.
You say Big Ben booth, and in my head, I'm thinking Big Boy Pants.
So yeah, I was really excited to go to the Big Ben booth.
I can tell. Yeah, I can tell because you don't get excited by much, and you're excited by this.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't everything I hoped it would be, but I mean, I can still say I went to the Big Ben booth. And they had the big Ben, they had a big Ben logo.
Like an actual, clock tower? Is that the logo, or is it Ben Roethlisberger?
No, the logo is just big. It just says Big Ben in a funny font.
Comic Sans?
Just like a
big font, man.
Styly font.
Helvetica FTW.
So
brilliant.
I do enjoy Big Ben and everything that they're involved in.
Awesome. Well, did they do our Review Z game this week?
Yes, we're recording that on Sunday.
Shut up! Really? It's actually a Big Ben game. That's hilarious. I didn't.
Oh no, it's not. It's what's it called? The new Artifacts Mundi.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I want to say Eventide, but I know it's not Eventide 2.
No, it's a sequel too, isn't it?
It's
Eventide 2. No,
it's too late.
Well, and you know what? They'll literally
Enigmatis 2.
Oh, there it is.
Enigmatis 2. There we go.
Oh, but she goes to a different location this time.
I didn't play the first one, so I'm just going to
wing it.
Play the second one.
Easy completion. I don't think you need to pay attention, but here it is, guys.
All right, so this week's Review Zed, we have a new Artifacts Mundi game, Enigmatis 2, and I'm here with Joe this week. Damien's away, so Joe is filling in, and it's the usual. Published and developed by Artifacts Mundi, $9.99 or regional equivalent Xbox Live store price. So I quite enjoyed it this week, as usual. It's kind of the usual.
But it's a good usual. I really enjoy the stories.
I don't have any complaints about the usual, but good, nice, easy achievements too.
Yes. Even the do X amount in X seconds or whatever it was seemed to just pop without any effort. So I was quite happy.
Yeah, I got that one, I think, on my second try. Usually the first one I did the 4 or fewer mistakes. And then the second one I just go to town on the screen. And then that usually works nicely.
It was weird. I was just playing normally. I mean, I did sit up really close to the TV screen because, as my Titanfall boosting pals will tell me, my eyesight's terrible trying to look at things on the screen, and I may accidentally shoot people. But now trying to find the tiniest little whatever glyph it is that represents whatever silly word. So I thought, definitely. Real close.
This one wasn't as bad though. I definitely I found that there were less weird translations in this one.
Yes.
There was one, what was the last one? I think it was in the second last puzzle. It was something Nez or something I don't know.
Was it pince-nez? They're kind of spectacles, the little clip-on ones.
Oh yeah, that's probably what it was. Maybe that's just a North American English lost word.
Possibly. It's very, very English because it's from the French, obviously.
Yeah, that's because I was thinking it looked like a French word.
Yeah.
So okay, maybe that's just me then, just not knowing what it is. But yeah, not as many. Not what was the last one we did? Eventide. There were a lot in that one.
That one was so cute. With.
No, it was good. It was just the hidden object games.
Yes.
Just they stumped me on that one really bad.
Yeah, I think
on a few.
Some of the first ones that they brought out, I did have some moments of, I know that's a word. I know what it's meant to be. I can't see it on the screen anywhere. But hey.
Yeah, so I didn't get to play the matching game, so.
No.
I looked at the TA review and they said they were very easy.
Yes. It took me a minute or so to figure out what the heck I was doing, because it's not like the two pictures are the same. The two pictures relate to each other. So I was doing a bit of wild clicking for a little bit. Oh, so
it's like a spot the differences kind of matching.
No. Sorry. So it's not like find the star and find the other star and it matches together. It's like find the dead body and find the knife and they go together. And there's a pen and a notepad, camera and film and stuff like that. So it took me a moment because I had two knives and they weren't matching, and then I accidentally turned over a dead body and it matched, and I was like, Oh, that's what it's doing.
Okay. Yeah, because I just started my second play. I didn't get to play the bonus adventure there. I didn't have time.
Oh,
so
it's cute.
Didn't play that yet. Yeah. Started my hard play because I want to get that in while I remember everything.
Yes.
And
it took me like 3 hours to do an expert playthrough.
Oh, really? That
I knew
long?
where everything was. Well, I was also eating at the time. But...
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking, I'm pretty sure my expert playthrough in Eventide only took me 45 minutes or something.
I was looking for a missing butterfly, though.
Oh, okay. Oh, that'll slow you down. Yeah, so it was good. Good story, as usual. Pretty easy to get into. And, again, I didn't play the first one, and I didn't feel like I was too far left out of the story in the second, which is nice. They did connect, and there were a few bits and pieces that I kind of had to kind of guess and fill in the blanks. But it did a good job of being a standalone title without really relying heavily on the first one, which was nice. Because, I don't know, I feel like with some games, particularly story-driven ones, you're gonna have a hard time getting into it if you haven't played the first one. But it was nice with this one that they still tied the stories together, but they could act as standalone pieces as well.
Yeah, I think it makes a little bit more sense if you've played the first one, which I have. One of the characters and the ending make more sense. But yeah, it's a really good story on its own. I really enjoyed playing it.
Now, what did you think about the guy in the room that you gotta unlock? Yeah. Did you see that coming?
I had my suspicions, especially with some of the pieces of evidence that you collected. I was thinking, maybe. And as it got nearer the end, I was like, I kind of know what's going to happen here.
Now, playing the first one, is it the same voice actor? So, if you had just played the first one, you saw this character, and then you heard him talking in the second one, would you know right off the bat, or would you not know? Or do you not remember?
I don't remember.
Because that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, if it's the same voice, then of course you're going to know. But I don't know. Now I'm curious. Maybe I'll go back and play the first one.
I'm not entirely sure that there was much talking done by him in the first one. It's kind of the eyes that sort of maybe gave it away, because it's really all you see of him.
Yeah.
The eyes. But I guess with a game, it could potentially have been the same voice actor and not necessarily the same character.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. But particularly, I think it seems like a lot of the same voice, or I don't know for sure, but it kind of sounds like a lot of the same voice actors are in each of the games.
Yeah.
So,
well, I imagine they have a small pool of people that they can draw on. But
yeah, I think their studio is like 150 people or something, because I had a look.
150?
They come out with a game every 3 weeks.
Blimey.
Which
They're
is crazy.
Good, considering.
It's impressive.
It's not very buggy.
No. And this, like, the stories are good.
Yeah.
Everything's sound. Yeah, it's impressive that they managed to come out with that many. I assume most of them come to PC, because I think it's definitely been more than 3 weeks since the last one on Xbox came out.
Yeah, they seem to be porting back catalogue to Xbox first, then PlayStation. Because I've seen them come out, because I follow them on Twitter, I've seen them come out with releases. Like they just released the Clockwork Tales, the one with all the little steampunk bugs in. That's just been released for PS4. So,
yeah, and that came out ages ago on Xbox One, I think.
Yeah. I think it's like a Steam type game, and maybe there's mobile versions.
Yeah, they do Steam and at least iOS.
Yeah.
I would assume Android too. But so yeah, that's kind of cool. They do one every 3 weeks. Yeah. What else was I going to say? There was something I was going to say too. Oh yeah, but I like that twist. I did not see it coming. I mean, I kind of thought, maybe, I don't know. And then it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
See, we could go more into the story, but I don't know. I feel like
I don't want to spoil it.
With all the games, you kind of just have to play it.
Yeah.
It's, the usual point and click, usual artifacts Mindy. Good value.
Very good value. Very good story. I was really quite engrossed in this one. to the point where I think I played most of it through in one day.
Yeah, I did it in mostly 2 sittings. It took me, I don't know, this weekend I wasn't in the point and click mood. Like on Saturday, I started playing it, and then I was kind of, I don't know if I don't really want to play this right now. And I started going. It's like, it wasn't the game, it was just the mood I was in, and then I kind of got a little further, and I was like, okay. And now I just want to finish it.
Yes. Well, yeah, I totally wasn't going to do the expert playthrough until you said, hey, do you want to do the recording with me? And I was like, well, no, I kind of want to find that final butterfly.
Yeah.
Because you've got the usual having to find certain extra little bits and bobs for the story. But they've got achievements now on them because they didn't have them originally. So, yeah.
So it's got... I guess this one is a little more work than Eventide because you have to do 2 playthroughs. You couldn't get away with doing expert on your first go because you have to do the matching puzzles and the find hidden object puzzles separately in 2 playthroughs. All the achievements are easy. You have to find the one thing I really didn't like about this was the butterflies. They didn't give you the guide like. With Eventide, you had the guide for both of the... Or did you not have one for the flowers? Where you could look in your journal, and if you had number 3 and you had number 5, but you didn't have number 4, you knew you'd missed it?
No, there wasn't one for the flowers. They had it for the monster cards. But yeah, this one they had the guide for the elusive objects. Elusive objects, but they didn't have it for the butterflies.
The first 2 of those were so hidden. And I missed those. I missed the first 2, and then I went back, and they were tough to find even when I was looking for them because they're tiny.
Really?
Yeah.
The ones at the very beginning?
Yeah, I did not see those.
Oh, it's because I was looking at the screen and I went, that moved. Am I meant to do something? Is it moving for a reason? And I clicked on it and went, elusive object found. And I'm like, what's
Because I was thinking, because it's got... Those screens have a bunch of other stuff that's moving too, like the ravens that are looking around and
everything was moving. It was kind of creepy.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't see them because I was thinking, all this stuff's moving and I can't click on that. It just squawks at me. So
I click on everything.
Okay,
I really do.
So I did. I mean, it only took me a few minutes, but still, because I knew it would have been in within 6 or 7 screens where it was going to be. But yeah. So those weren't too bad because. They were easy to miss, but because you had that journal, it was easy to go back and find ones that you missed. The butterflies, I thought at the end I'd missed one, but luckily I didn't.
Oh, I knew I'd missed one because I knew I would have had to have missed one. I missed one of the cards on the first playthrough of Eventide as well.
Oh, yeah. I think I missed one of each on Eventide.
Yeah, I think I got all of one and missed one of the... I keep on doing that, so it's a habit. But since they've got achievements on them, it's not like... what was the one with the fairies and the pieces of... God, there've been so many games.
I don't think I played that one.
There was one where you had to collect fairies. And then you had to collect bits of a storybook.
Would that be Grim Tales?
Possibly.
Because I think I haven't played Grim Tales. I haven't played what's the other one? The one you were talking about, the steampunk one.
Clockwork Tales of Glass and Ink. I think it was Grim Legends. Yeah, I think it was Grim Legends that had the fairies and the storybook. And because there wasn't an achievement, I found as many as I could, but didn't, go back to search for them.
Oh, so those ones don't even have achievements for those then?
No, the first lot of games didn't have achievements for collecting the little extra bits.
Oh, that would make them so much easier to complete.
Yeah.
Because I spent probably as much time looking for butterflies as I did for other stuff, because I didn't want to miss one. But overall, though, for achievement-wise, it's the usual that it's actually really fine to get through the game without a guide.
Yes.
I would actually recommend it because then you can enjoy the game, pretty much get all the achievements along the way. If you happen to miss something, just pick it up on your second playthrough that you pretty much inevitably have to play. Yes. Well, in this one, inevitably have to play, but if you want the completion, which is nice. So, to wrap it up, the usual. Definitely recommend. Price point is spot on, as always.
Yeah.
Good content.
Good story, well put together, no bugs.
Yeah, I don't think I encountered a single bug.
No.
Which is nice.
Except for the butterflies. Technically, they're bugs.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely would recommend that one.
Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks to Artifacts Mundi for another code. And thanks for joining us this week, Joe.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Right, and I will see you guys next week.
All right, thanks so much, everybody, for listening. We hope you enjoyed it because we enjoyed recording. It was a lot of fun tonight. And if you, our listeners, could help us out, a great free way to contribute to the show is rating us on your favorite podcast app, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, whatever you happen to be listening to on. That would be fantastic. Have you counted yet, Bill? Big L? Because I think I'm up to like 7.
Big L or Big Bill?
Big Bill. Big Bill Games,
yes, that's
right?
From the Big Bill booth.
That's right. If you haven't been to our website, I highly recommend it, Z2Z.com, ZEDTOZED, where you can get our show notes. You can look at that Minecraft Beautiful Images book and likely purchase your coffee table book, and people can say, what a nerd, you have video game books on your table, but you could say, they are awesome, shut your face.
Say, get out of my house, you're lame.
There's also credits and links to everything we've talked about. It's just wonderful. Twitter, by far one of the easiest ways to connect with any of us. We have the Z2Z at Z2Z, ZEDTOZED. One more time if you forget on the 4 instances I reread that. And our email, contact@Z2Z.com. If you haven't seen our forums, forum.Z2Z.com. That is where all of our contests currently reside, and they are all free to enter. They are very approachable to everybody. Highly recommend you take a look because there are prizes to be had, and it just encourages more gaming, which we all want to do. There is like I mentioned, the completions challenge coming up in January. There is another contest I have in mind toward the end of January that I will be announcing after the new year. I just want to sprinkle the seeds out there. We have another thing lined up.
Such a
It's pretty insane. I got a lot of ideas. I'm excited. I am excited. I do want to give a huge thank you to all of the sites and tools that make this show possible. Libsyn, Discord, Trello, Twitter, Discourse, Zencaster, Skype, Audacity. Who else? Who does our soundboard? Zencaster, right? They do the soundboard too? Brilliant. Love it. So thank you all so much. Of course, trueachievements.com for helping us so much with achievement hunting. We really couldn't have gotten started without you. Did you guys get your start through TA? Right, that was the gateway drug. Although you guys spent some time over at xboxachievements.org too, right?
Yeah, but True Achievements was where it really began. It was like,
I was never
achievements. Hey, what's this ratio thing?
I was never a big fan of Xbox achievements. I mean, it got the job done when I didn't know TA existed, but it wasn't like TA was
the thing.
When I saw that completion percentage, that was it.
Yeah, that did it for you, huh? Well, thank you for them and any other games media site that helps us with the show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Finally, Microsoft for providing the Xbox console and all its amazing content. So, on behalf of Damien, Crandy, Prue, Tarragon, this has been Brandon, and to all you achievement hunters and Gamerscore junkies out there, thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next episode.
See you later, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Bye, everyone.
Playing reviews, here it comes. Oh, there's your cut mark. Great.
In the intro to reviews, that.
That's the key.
Oh, okay.
Wait for it.
Oh.
Wait, does it really do that?
Yep. You want to hear it again?
Pause? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Here's the pause. Ready? I want to talk. Ready? Here we go. And Oh, what happened?
I stopped it.
Son of a gun. You're the worst. You're the worst. All right, let's wrap up the show.
Stupid. I hate it.
There it is.
Worst.
That is the worst.
It's the worst.
That is the worst.
Why did they do that?
I don't mind
It makes sense in
that.
context. Come on.
I know it makes sense in context, but I still hate it. I want my old bleep bloop, and I want that stupid, ugly diamond to go away.
Well, stop
horrible.
unlocking
At least,
rare achievements
fill
then.
the gap.
God.
Well, I can't because all of them are rare.
Yeah, fill the gap
complain.
in between the sound. Couldn't you just do
I've just
like
been
a
playing
little
360 since it came out.
bling?
Pretty much.
Right?
Like,
Skadoosh. Bling. That's the new sound. That's how we write it out. Skadoosh. Bling.
Okay, got it.
Just so y'all know. Huzzah! I made it through the whole show without puking. Woohoo!
Hey,
There it is.
that's a rare achievement.
Yeah, right? There it is. It's been rare this week, I'll tell you what. Man.
don't like
Wait
it.
for it.
Don't like it.
My wife even asked me, because what was the worst part of it, too, was the Tuesday night meal was my wife's chili, which is one of my favorite meals. And to re-experience that on Wednesday, that was really not pleasant. And she's like, "Are you going to ever want that again?"
I actually can't. I really can't take extra spicy stuff anymore. It makes my stomach actually go into a kind of a involuntary fit. It's like I love it, but it's just like my stomach just goes.
Her chili is actually a fantastic blend of spicy and sweet. She puts a lot of brown sugar in there, and so it's this just beautiful mixture of like hot and just sweet. I love it. I've never tasted a chili like it.
I know it would just kill my stomach.
I bet.
I make a mean chili too. It's good.
I don't like chili.
We had my brother.
What?
I don't like beans. So
My brother has a yearly chili cooking
You don't eat
contest.
carrots. You don't eat chili.
I eat carrots as long as they're not cooked.
No, you.
Oh, that's funny. My wife only eats cooked. Like
No,
she will
no.
not eat regular carrots, and she's like, I can have cooked carrots because they're soft.
Okay, Prue, when you come visit me, I will make you cooked carrots that are good, and I'll make you delicious chili.
All right, I'll try them, but I guarantee you I won't like them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like.
so
hang on, I don't like cooked carrots and beans because they're the same consistency of mush. That's why I don't like them.
Whoever is cooking your carrots is doing it so wrong.
Doing it wrong.
Like really wrong. Okay, beans.
That's overcooking. That's kind of cooking it into kind
All
of
right,
a
we'll
mush.
see.
because I get texture because I really I also have a hard time. Like I hate potatoes because of the texture. I cannot deal with the textured potatoes. But yeah, if carrots are getting to that point, like whoever has been making your carrots is doing it so wrong.
All right,
They might actually be poisoning you.
I would believe that actually.
They're going out of their way to hurt you.
They're like, let's make sure he doesn't ever eat cooked carrots.
He doesn't need eyesight anyway. I think remove anything that's got a 2K something on it, because guessing the year of a sports franchise game is just ridiculous.
That was kind of funny though, when everyone was like waiting for me to make the announcement, and then I said release date 2009, and like 2K29, and they're like
2K10.
2K10.
Yeah.
Is it 2K11 or 2K10? When did it? And they're like, that was kind of funny.
Yep.
Well, yeah, and then like you look at a game like Zegapain, it's only got 37.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah,
1,000
that one-
people
that
are
one-
gonna know it.
I would have picked it.
Mighty Mango said he would have got it.
I wouldn't have remembered the name, but I would have known the game.
Well, after I said
Yeah,
Pain.
Well, no, but I mean, I know.
I got it when you talked about the XOR and the two different versions of it. It's actually, I would have been able to give it a bit of history on that one because it's actually was released as two separate
Very
discs.
interesting, that one.
With 500 points on each disc, but they're still considered as the same game. So to actually get the complete game, you need to have both the XOR and the not version. And another thing about that, the XOR OXR or XOR and NOT are actually both computer logical functions. They're just base level Boolean operations. Right. So, yeah, I think that's what it's based off. So, anyway. Is it Frank?
Is it? See, I've got my new crutch. I got to break that. I mean, because I hear it. Now that I'm aware of it. Are you going to listen to X1 Bros? And you listen to my interview? I talked to you on it. I talk about you. I mean,
what our rain cloud?
Prue, did you listen?
I have not yet.
I talk about you on that show too.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah, practically the entire thing is about you two. It's amazing.
What? Okay, I'll actually listen to this.
Just throwing that out there. I know for a fact I mentioned you guys.
I haven't listened to any Xbox One Bros, and I feel like I should.
Yeah, you kind of should, particularly the one that Frame's on.
I've actually taken a bit of a break from podcasts.
I don't listen to podcasts in general.
You literally have nothing to do.
Hey, I do things most of the day.
That was brutal.
Yes, turning on those 8 Xboxes doesn't count, really.
That was just the day. But most of the time, I don't turn on the Xbox until later.